The pot of boiling water has just been buried. Not even the time for one stick of incense has passed. The body is still warm.
After being warm for so many days, finally we can taste some human flesh.
This woman looks pretty good. While the body is still warm, how about we brothers have some fun first?
I think you're crazy. Eating human flesh is for survival, but don't go messing around with her like this.
Hey, I think it is fine. I just traded grain for a new wife, and haven't even slept with her yet. I want to taste what a woman feels like too.
The man's vulgar words pierced her ears sharply. Lanjiu frowned in displeasure. What kind of talk is this? Soon, she clearly felt someone approaching and stripping off her clothes.
Damn it! A ghost!
If you're gonna play, then play, you bastard.
Oh, no. This is a corpse coming back to life.
Though the first one didn't speak, he wasn't any better. His pants instantly got wet.
Keep talking. Why don't you continue?
Lanjiu stared at them, her eyes filled with killing intent. As she advanced, the men stared at her in terror. Screams echoed from the cave. After a long moment, Lanjiu emerged from the cave, clutching a filthy money pouch. A trail of blood grew behind her. Scum like this should be killed off completely. In just this short while, she had already pieced together the whole story. She had transmigrated into a peasant woman named He Juniang. Looking around, all was withered yellow. 3 years of relentless drought had claimed countless lives. The original owner's family had exhausted their stored grain, forcing them to flee the famine. The journey was grueling, the original owner desperate to protect her child. That young father and son starved to death right there on the road. Lu Zhoniang lowered her gaze. The original host was such a pitiful soul, perhaps influenced by the original host's lingering thoughts. The frail, emaciated image of her son kept flashing before her eyes. The original host wanted her to find her son.
In this state, she didn't even know if she could survive herself. How could she possibly raise your son?
Speaking of which, she was quite the unlucky wretch. Betrayed by the one she trusted most at heart, which led to her death, and this chance to transmigrate. Yet upon waking, it was this barren wasteland all around. Even with heaven-defying skills, she couldn't alter the forces of nature. No rice means no meal, even for the cleverest cook. Just as she pondered this, a bag of rice suddenly appeared before her. Gleaming white, it dazzled brilliantly under the sunlight. He Juniang seized a handful in shock. Confirming it was indeed rice, she couldn't help but glance up at the heavens. As the saying goes, even the cleverest wife can't cook without rice, and heaven delivers it right away. Now, if only for some water too. He Juniang's eyes widened in disbelief. Could this be the transmigration's heaven-sent gift? Just this one thing. Others might say this helps raise the original host child, but feeding the entire world wouldn't be an issue with it. Meanwhile, the Lu family had just found an abandoned shack to rest in. The 2-year-old boy remained in a deep coma, his frail body reduced to skin and bones, his face sallow and yellow, burning with a high fever.
It has been 2 full days now, with no sign of him waking. Oh, heavens! Are you trying to take away this old woman's precious lifeline too?
Alas, little Goer has been so sensible since he was little, though he hasn't woken yet. He seems to sense that his mother is gone. No way. Tui,
Jinx! My little Goer will be all right!
Oh dear, it is all my fault for uttering such cursed words. Mother, please don't fret. Goer will surely pull through. Our third sister-in-law cherished the child so dearly. She'll surely watch over his mother from above.
Mother's back.
Everyone thought he was just rambling, but when they followed the direction of his little hand, they really spotted He Juniang's figure.
3 sisters-in-law. What in the world is going on?
It is a long story.
Second sister-in-law, give that cornbread to third sister-in-law to eat.
No need.
Second sister-in-law, I'm really not hungry. She truly isn't hungry. She ate her fill and drank her fill in the space before coming out.
We've all brushed with death once, and still haven't learned a thing. So just eat it when it is offered. Don't go acting like the Lu family has done you wrong.
From the original host's memories, He Juniang knew Sanshi was the type with a sharp tongue, but a heart of tofu. So hearing this, she didn't get upset at all, but patiently explained instead. She said that after realizing she hadn't died, she clawed her way out of the dirt, then stumbled upon a band of robbers, snatched up a bundle in the chaos, and bolted, only to discover it was stuffed with food and water. That gave her the strength to come find the family after filling her belly. As long as she is alive, that is what counts.
It is good just to be alive.
The eldest sister-in-law then took her hand and gave it a gentle pat. genuinely overjoyed for her, as the others nodded along in heartfelt agreement. For nothing matters more than survival. Along the way, she came upon this unconscious man. Noting his attire marked him as no commoner, which prompted her to bring him back. Truth be told, it was his evident high status that made her think he might aid the whole family in fleeing the famine. At these words, the third son, who'd been ready to chide her for endangering herself with extra burdens, suddenly found he couldn't voice his meddling in others' affairs reproach. Why did it feel like the third daughter-in-law had truly died and returned? You've gotten so much smarter since you came back, haven't you? However, the Lu family had no mind to dwell on it, because they were all spellbound by the items He Junliang pulled from the bundle, utterly dazzling their eyes. Shiny white rice and steamed buns stuffed with meat, plus several buckets of fresh water. These were treasures that could save the entire family's lives. That rice and meat-filled buns, let alone now, fleeing famine on the road, even back home. They'd only splurge on them during festivals.
Besides, there were a few small odds and ends that she'd stowed away safely, to bring out when the time was right. For tonight, let's have everyone eat 2 meat buns each, to tide us over. And save the rice for making porridge later.
You can tell at a glance you're no good at making ends meet. How could we devour such precious things all at once? Half a bun per person. And save the rest for the road.
Mother, it is just too hot out. If we don't eat them soon, the meat filling in the buns will go bad. Better to spoil our appetites than let them rot and miss a hearty meal.
The third son's wife has a point. Better to eat now than let it spoil. After starving for so many days, 2 buns down the hatch still wouldn't fill us up, let alone just half.
Though Sun felt a twinge of heartache. In the end, she didn't argue. With food in hand, the whole family fell silent. Heads bowed over their portions. After finishing, a sip of water, and suddenly, everything felt utterly refreshing. After He Junliang held her little son Guo close and fed him a meat bun, she quietly fetched some milk from her space, poured it into a bamboo tube, and fed it to him.
Mother's home.
Guo squinted contentedly as he sipped away. Once the whole family had finished eating, Old Man Lu then pointed at the man on the ground and turned to He Junliang.
What has happened to this young sir?
I really have no idea. I figured he must have fainted from first. Gave him a bit of water on the road. Whether he comes around is up to his own fortune.
In truth, the man had been poisoned, and He Junliang had spotted it right away. Indeed, because of his distinguished air, he might come in handy. So she pulled out silver needles from her space to drain the poisoned blood and detoxify him. But with the Lu family watching, she couldn't let her abilities slip. So she had to play the fool.
Since that is how it stands, we should all turn in early, with the eldest and second sons taking turns on watch. And if anything comes up, wake the rest of us.
The man on the ground woke up, as if he'd just uncovered something momentous, his eyes widening in utter disbelief.
Young master, you're awake. But do you feel unwell anywhere?
My apologies for any offense. I hope you'll forgive me.
No harm done. No harm done. These are tough times. Nobody's got it easy. It was my third son's wife who saved you.
Her wrinkled old face creased into a grin, practically begging for your gratitude in bold letters.
Oh, just a small favor. Nothing more. If you're truly grateful, why not show it with something tangible?
Jen's cupped fist, salute, froze for a beat.
Of course. Of course.
Qin Jian patted himself down, pulling out a money pouch. Lucky for him, the spot where he passed out was so remote, or else if he'd run into other refugees, they'd have stripped him down to his undergarments. He Junliang weighed it in her hand. Feels like a good few dozen taels at least.
There is one thing I don't understand. Might I trouble little sister-in-law for some guidance?
Go on.
I've been struck by the gambling hex. My days are numbered. Was it you, little sister-in-law, who helped lift the curse?
I wouldn't know about that. I only gave you some water to drink. That is all.
Jian frowned, a touch of disappointment in his eyes. So who could have saved him? Then, remembering the urgent matters still weighing on him, he decided not to dwell, turning to the group.
I have pressing business to attend to, so I won't impose any longer. May our paths cross again someday. Farewell.
With that, in the next instant, he vanished before the Lu family's eyes.
That Gong master sure something. He left his sword behind.
Mother, you keep it safe.
But Granny Sun wouldn't take it.
It is you who saved his life, so you keep this money for yourself. Guar isn't in good health, and there'll be plenty of expenses down the road.
Mother, we haven't split the family yet, and you've all been looking after me and Guar these years. So this money should go into the family pot too, for everyone to share. All right then, you take it.
In that case, We'll handle the money as per the old rules. 80% to the family pot. And you'll keep the remaining 20 for yourself.
With that, she turned to the eldest and second branches and said,
You've all seen it. This money was earned by third daughter-in-law. Back in the day, it would have kept our whole family going for over 10 years. But these days, times are tough. Who knows? It might just save our lives someday. Even though third son's away, the third branch has still contributed to this family. And I won't have any of you harboring ill thoughts behind my back.
We understand. Mother, we get it. We're all one family. So looking out for each other is only right. Besides, after what our sister-in-law's been through, good fortune's bound to follow, right?
Even if you hadn't said it, Mother, we'd have known it in our hearts. This trip back, our third sister-in-law brought back food and drink, and all this money too. It has saved the lives of our whole family, young and old. How could we not treat her and the boy well?
The younger ones, listening nearby, thought Aunt Three was amazing, and vowed to be even kinder to little brother Gore from now on. The Lu family didn't dare linger, so after a quick pack-up, they hurried on their way, even though everyone was pushing hard to make good time on the road. But when night fell, they still hadn't reached Liujiatang as hoped, because halfway along the path, they came upon several clansmen from Lujia village. No, to be precise, the corpses of their clansmen.
They've probably run into some roving bandits.
These kill immortal bandits look like they've only just emerged.
I'm afraid those folks haven't gotten far yet. If they cross paths with us, I dare not imagine.
He deliberately acted terrified.
The third daughter-in-law has a point. We should get moving.
Old man Lu still wanted to head to Liujiatang, though he had no idea what was going on there. But it was a town at least. And now they had money on them. He figured they could stock up on rice and flour.
Dad, we're not far from Lujia town, and those villains will surely head there after their killing spree. It could be even more chaotic. We still have some food for now, so let's take the detour.
Grandpa, Grandma, how about I go take a look? You can ask around for the situation, and bring back whatever we need.
No, since we've decided against it, no one goes in these chaotic times. Our family must never be separated again.
Right. We can't split up again. In that case, we'll skirt around Liujiatang and go straight to Qianzhou, figuring things out once we get there.
The family took the detour, pressing on with their journey. Night had fully fallen, unlike the previous night when they'd found a spot to rest early. But tonight they were still out in the wilds. Suddenly, a wolf's howl echoed from the distant mountain.
All right, Gorp, don't be scared. It is still far from us, and even if they do come, we ain't scared. We'll stew them up to nourish you.
Mom's so tough. The group pressed onward, spotting a flicker of firelight ahead, as a gentle breeze stirred. The aroma of meat wafts over. I can faintly hear people talking, chattering away. They're not locals, and they don't seem like good folk.
This sounds like a South Thai accent.
Why would South Thai folk come to Beiyan at a time like this? The border's been in chaos for years. They wouldn't be looking to exploit us Han in the midst of war, would they?
No. Not South Thai people. I think I can understand them. I caught what they just said.
That group in the village. Could it be these very ones who did it?
It couldn't be them, could it? Those folks looked like they were handling private matters. They wouldn't go on such a widespread killing spree. Besides, look, they don't seem short on food or silver.
Then we'd better hurry off. We can't let them spot us. But as soon as they turned around, they saw those black-clothed men who had been eating and drinking, now standing right behind them, each gripping a gleaming longsword. Seeing this lineup, Old Man Lu's heart sank. Thinking of his whole family,
He forced a smile and said, "We're just a bunch of refugees. We don't know a thing.
anyone who spots us has to die." With that, the black-clothed men charged straight at them. The Lu brothers, the eldest and second who'd been using their staffs as crutches, rushed forward to meet them. They were the pillars of the family, and they stood at the forefront to shield the rest. He Juniang drew a handful of poisoned silver needles from the space, and with a flick of her wrist, she sent them flying toward the assailants' vital points.
Mother, daughter-in-law, it is all right now. Come on. Out. They're all dead.
Oh, dear. What on earth just happened?
We have no idea.
The second son scratched his head. He'd thought tonight spelled doom for them.
Dead. Big brother, second brother. They must have money and food on them. Quick, let's search them.
Hurry up and look.
Old Man Lu led his two sons forward.
Big brother, second brother. They've got horses too. There must be bundles over there. Right on our doorstep. No reason not to take them.
Unbeknownst to them, He Juniang had quietly become the family's pillar of strength. The Lu family felt a quiet joy in their hearts. Yet they dared not linger, and pressed on with their journey. Not long after, the Taoist found a secluded clearing, and the Lu family decided to camp there for the night. All around was deathly quiet. He Juniang suddenly froze mid-motion. Da.
Shh! Someone's watching us.
The Lu family froze in alarm. The silence all around them, unbroken, yet nothing seemed out of place.
Everyone, let's get some rest. We've got to hit the road at dawn.
Big brother, they're asleep. Let's make our move.
Hold on a second.
The man known as Big Brother raised a hand, his face etched with suspicion.
Wait any longer, and it'll be dawn.
His sidekick, unable to contain himself, started toward the Lu family, and Big Brother cursed him as a fool under his breath, then trailed after him with a sigh. Their target, the horses. They couldn't risk arousing anyone at first light. The Lu family crept up to the horses and quietly began untying the ropes.
Big brother, we've struck it rich.
Hao Uji's lackey grinned sleazily. We'll slaughter one for ourselves. Send the rest to Qianzong City and pocket a tidy sum. The others stayed silent, just eager to snag a horse and bolt. But then a sudden chill crept up his neck.
And where do you think you're going?
A steady male voice broke the silence. The two petty thieves knew they were done for.
We're just starving. That is all.
The little thief was scared out of his wits, having witnessed plenty of gruesome scenes on the road, fearing he'd end up as someone's plate dinner. The other shot his partner a glare, hissing for him to shut up, and inwardly cursing why he'd ever teamed up with such a dimwit.
So, they're hungry, huh?
You know that.
But they're bad guys. Anyone who steals is a bad person.
Right. They're bad people. What a smart boy you are.
The two thieves squirmed under their stares, and the leader muttered,
Kill us or carve us up, whatever you like.
Third daughter-in-law, what do you say we do with them?
We've got horses, but no carts. If these two work through the night to build us a couple of carts, we'll let them go.
Old Man Lu's eyes lit up.
That is it.
Now that we have horses, it is still not safe to cram several kids onto horseback. If we could just whip up two simple carts, not to mention a few children, even the grown-ups could ride along comfortably. The little thief's face turned as black as charcoal. Having gone hungry for days, with not a scrap of strength left, how could he possibly help them build carts?
If you pull it off, I'll toss you 2 rice balls, as promised.
The two exchanged a glance, and for the sake of those rice balls, they buckled down by the next morning. When the kids stirred awake, 2 rickety carts, as basic as they come, were already hitched behind the 4 horses.
Carts! Carts! I've got the carts! Ready!
Will these even hold up?
Qingshi eyed the clunky wheels, a flicker of worry crossing her face. What if someone takes a tumble? How awful would that be?
Don't worry. We just gave them a test run. As long as we keep it slow, they're plenty sturdy.
The 2 petty thieves, worn out from a night of labor, were dying to collapse and sleep right there. But they mustered their energy to eye He Juniang intently, a silent nudge, don't forget those rice balls from yesterday. He Juniang wasn't one to welch on a couple of rice balls, so she dug them out and chucked them over. The family scarfed down a simple meal and some water, then geared up to hit the road again.
Mama, those outsiders are tagging along with us.
You still want to work as coolies for us?
No. We just want to trail behind you and scrounge a meal.
Don't expect to get anything from us.
We'll fend for ourselves. We just want to follow behind you. That is all.
Letting them tag along isn't a bad idea. It is like gaining 2 free laborers. If we run into any trouble, they could lend a hand.
Sun Shui pondered, and found it quite reasonable. so she nodded in agreement along with Qingshi.
Yes.
Third sister-in-law, you're the smart one.
It is this damn world that forces our hand.
Once the road evened out a bit, the carriage picked up a little speed. This left the two trailing behind, struggling, panting like chimneys. When suddenly, they saw the four lead horses reined in sharp. The beggar brothers could tell at once that trouble had brewed. Little brother Erniu clutched his big brother's hand.
Big brother, looks like that family's run into trouble. We shouldn't get involved, lest we bring disaster on ourselves.
If we don't step in now, it'll be tough to tag along with them later.
Big brother, what do you mean?
Erniu was a bit slow on the uptake, not quite grasping his big brother's intent. Liu Pai didn't bother explaining, and dashed ahead first. Erniu had no choice but to chase after him. Meanwhile, He Juniang eyed the group ahead, clearly no good eggs. Her brows furrowed tight. Not a moment's peace on this journey. As a few men approached from the front, each one skinny as a monkey, knives in hand, with unfriendly scowls.
Want to live? Hand over the food and the silver. Otherwise, don't blame us young masters for getting rough.
Who are you people? How dare you rob us in broad daylight?
Caught the crap, you old coot. Daring to strut around on our Xiaoyi Ridge turf. Today, you'll meet your end right here.
With that said, he charged forward with his blade, slashing at Old Man Lu. Old Man Lu jumped in fright as Lu Laoda steadied him with a hand. Before they could say another word, the bandit lunged again, blade raised high. Seeing this, Du Laer Jiandeng hurried over and parried the strike with his sword. The two brothers swung their swords fiercely, clashing in a whirlwind of blades.
Hurry and find a safe spot to hide.
Third sister-in-law, what about you?
Don't worry. I'll find my own way out. Just to look after father, mother, and the children.
You two, listen up. If you help us escape this peril, from here on, we'll take you along with us.
The board he meant was the kind that covers food and lodging. The pair's hearts raced with temptation, for, in these hard times, nothing tempted like a square meal. Without a second thought, they charged straight into the fray. Suddenly, sharp gusts of hidden force whistled through the air, followed by a chorus of heavy thuds. The combatants, deep in their savage brawl, all dropped their weapons to the ground. He Juniang puzzled over who had struck so swiftly. When a line of carriages emerged from the distance, the lead carriage gleamed with lavish splendor, leaving everyone momentarily transfixed, uncertain what mighty figure had descended upon them.
Our lady dislikes watching these brawling scenes. Otherwise, don't blame me for not holding back.
He Juniang carefully observed the convoy. She noticed they all moved with light steps. Their internal energy runs deep. Even the coachman is no ordinary man. This is no ordinary noble household. It must be a jungle sect. The lady in the carriage truly has no martial arts. Her body is frail, even sickly. As she passed by just now, she could hear the labored breathing from within. It sounded strained.
Say, please hold on.
What on earth is the third brother's wife up to? Those folks look like no one to trifle with at first sight, always stirring up trouble.
Mother, don't fret. Third brother's wife must have her reasons for this. It is fitting. Many thanks for saving us, miss. We are but humble farmers. We have nothing worthy to offer. This is a pill I chanced upon. It aids sleep and soothes the breath. I didn't come to save you lot. Regardless, you have saved our lives, miss. Please accept it without disdain.
This is the cinnabar calming pill she just retrieved from her storage space, packaged in a small porcelain vial fitting this era, without a single flaw. The little maid glanced at the porcelain vial and knew the craftsmanship was exquisite, far beyond what humble farmers could afford.
Ling Yue, take it.
After traveling some distance, Ling Yu, the little maid, having inspected the medicine bottle, confirmed it was safe, finally handed the vial to the lady in the carriage. The lady's name is Zhang Ruoya. She is exceedingly beautiful, every gesture exuding the refined grace of a noble woman. Her face bears no trace of powder or rouge, pale with a sickly pallor.
Madam, how did that dragon girl know you sleep so poorly? Could it be she is improved?
At such a young age, you worry the most. If you truly suspect something's amiss with her, why did you step in to save her just now?
This servant merely wished to spare you any disturbance from those ruffians.
Jiang Ruoya let out a soft chuckle. The child I raised single-handedly. How could I not know her kind heart?
Madam, Shall we head back to Jingzhou now? It has been just a month since we set out, and the chaos engulfs these turbulent times. The pavilion master must be greatly worried. No.
Let's visit Qianzhou city first. I've heard the refugees fleeing Maozhou mostly pass through Qianzhou on their way to Anzhou. Perhaps my jeweler is in Qianzhou.
This journey began when our scouts learned of my daughter's whereabouts, likely in Maozhou. My husband said once his duties were done, he would join me in searching for her. Maozhou is in utter turmoil, the people destitute and desperate. Fearing for our daughter's safety, he set out alone with a swift steed to find her. At first, I clung to a glimmer of hope. But after witnessing the horrors of so many orphans' childhoods, my heart has grown colder with every step. Whenever I close my eyes, visions of my daughter's suffering haunt me. Because of this, I haven't had a single peaceful night's sleep in years.
Madam, please don't fret. The girl, being human, is under heaven's watchful eye. She'll be all right.
You needn't console me. It has been over a decade. I've already braced myself for the worst. It is a rare chance to get out, so I still went to tend to the ache in my heart.
That might bring me some relief.
The convoy pressed on toward Qianzhou city, while the Lu family, once the convoy had departed, swiftly bound the remaining bandits, their long swords pressed to the bandits' throats.
The group outside Liuzhe town 5 miles away. Did you kill them?
No, it wasn't us. We had nothing to do with it. We only steal things. We don't take lives.
You say that, but do you even believe it yourself?
Just now, you were all set to draw your blade and hack at the slightest provocation. Both Lao wastes no words, and presses down hard with his hand, blood spurting instantly from the bandit, his neck.
Speak!
Yes.
It was the boss and his men who did the killing. No, not us!
Spare us, heroes! Mercy! Great heroes!
The bandits kneel on the ground, kowtowing desperately, their terror plain to see. But He Julian catches him slyly, signaling to the other two with his eyes, clearly still hatching some scheme. He Julian feigns utter recklessness and slashes across his back with her blade, blood flowing as his face drains white with agony.
If you don't come clean, I'll carve you up just like this, until your blood runs dry.
The bandit blacks out from the pain, and the other two, seeing it, soil themselves in sheer fright amid the foul reek. The pair stammers out every last detail. They were refugees, too. There is really no way out. With no other way to survive, forced to turn bandit, living off the spoils of their raids. Yes, it was their gang that carried out the slaughter outside Liuzhe town, stripping the place of every valuable, slaughtering a few in the process. Though most managed to flee, and the stragglers they dragged back to their mountain stronghold, women for their twisted pleasures and forced labors, children kept alive for the time being, to be devoured when hunger strikes hardest. Even now, 5 or 6 men hold the stronghold, the very ones who claimed glory in that last raid. That is why we can rest in the stronghold today. Watch them spill every detail. The old man swung his blade without hesitation. Afterward, his limbs went limp with weakness.
They were all vile scum. It was there just the deserts.
This bandit stronghold. We must strike there. We have to head to those 6 villages.
Dad, my brother and I will go check the situation first. You all find a safe place to hide first.
I'll go with you.
Don't rush into that yet. You're all injured. We need to tend to those wounds first. As for the rescue, we'll need to plan it carefully.
With that, she pulls a small porcelain vial from her bundle. They say it is a trauma salve for external wounds. Works wonders.
Is this one of the things you picked up earlier too?
I'm just lucky like that. Picked up quite a few useful items, and they all come in handy now.
Everyone figured this was He Junyang's blessing after surviving the calamity. But the whole family was sharing in this fortune.
Dad, Mom, you rest here for now. My second brother and I will scout ahead first, to verify if it is really just 5 guards posted there. Those bandits didn't seem too trustworthy anyway. They might have been lying after all.
Big brother, second brother, you two are the ones who got hurt. You should rest. Let me go check it out.
It is far too dangerous. What business does a woman like you have getting mixed up in this?
Dad, Mom, when I came back to find you, I ran into bandits, trying to rob me on the road too. But not only did I make it back, I even picked up some good stuff along the way. You should trust me on this.
He Zhunyang is dead set on going this time. Mainly because we've added 2 more people now. Our food and water definitely won't stretch far enough. And if we do go to save them, it'll be those women and children tagging along. And down the line, if supplies run out, we'll all starve on the road, just the same. She needs to seize this chance to head out, take out some things from the space, to make sure no one starves later on. The Lu family was momentarily at a loss for words. Now that the 3rd daughter-in-law's back, she is clearly more capable than before. And her luck's turned around too. These 2 brushes with danger both ended up turning into safety. But sending a lone woman out to scout the path, that still feels a bit improper.
Dad, let me go check it out with Sanki Mantai.
Go take a look first. But don't do anything rash. If anything seems off, get back here fast.
Mom, I'm coming too. Mother, I want to go too.
Doggy, don't fuss. Mother, it is something very important I have to do. You stay here with Grandpa, Grandma, and your siblings, and be good. Mother promises you. When I come back, I'll bring you something yummy. All right.
I don't want food. I just want you.
This heart-wrenching scene moved everyone to tears. Auntie San cursed the heavens nearby.
It is all that thieving sky's fault for holding back the rain.
The child had a good cry and realized making such a fuss wasn't right, though he was still so reluctant to let go. But he didn't make a scene anymore, just watched wide-eyed as Zhunyang and Lu walked farther and farther away. After trudging the mountain path for over half an hour, sure enough, they spotted 2 men on patrol. Zhunyang and Lu quickly ducked into hiding.
Big brother, you scout around here first. See if there are any more of them. I'll check if there are other ways in. If I can get inside, the 2 of us can rescue the villagers. If you run into trouble, smash this on the ground and make a run for it.
It is too dangerous for you to go. Let me go instead.
Big brother, don't worry. I've got this. I've got plenty of tricks up my sleeve in my pack.
With that, leaving him no chance to object, she slipped into the woods and vanished in an instant. Lu stood there dumbfounded. When did 3rd sister-in-law get so skilled? Once he snapped out of it, he followed Zhunyang's orders as usual, keeping a close eye on the 2 patrols. Unfettered, Zhunyang effortlessly evaded the bandits and slipped into the heart of the stronghold. No one was patrolling inside the stronghold. Earth-shattering snores echoed from a room, 3 voices rising and falling in waves. If I'm not mistaken, these must be the ones who claimed great merits in the last raid and slaughter. Zhunyang slipped quietly into the room. Under normal circumstances, Zhunyang would have 100 ways to make them pay. But right now, rescuing the captives comes first. So she swiftly slit the throats of all 3 with deadly precision.
You filthy dogs. Consider yourselves lucky.
Sheathing her dagger, Zhunyang moved to search for the prisoners. But after just a few steps, she heard a woman's voice speaking.
There is a kid who is about to die. When the boss gets back, I'll ask if we can eat him. Keeping him alive's just wasting food. And we barely have enough for ourselves.
Wishful thinking. The boss has his eye on the kid's mom. We've got a bit of food left. The boss will definitely keep the kid alive. To win her over for now, at least.
Who knows what the old boss is thinking? Once she rolls into bed, won't she fall right in line? She can pop out as many kids as we want. So why bother keeping that little bastard?
Teach, what would you know? The boss and his crew have struck it rich lately. He is probably looking to build up our stronghold. And those boys and girls are likely recruits for the cause. You'd better behave yourself. And don't ruin the boss's plans. Who the hell are you? The one here to end your worthless life.
Before Zhunyang could finish, the dagger flew from her hand, slicing the throat of the woman who'd just spoken. The other woman went pale with terror, collapsing to the floor. In an instant.
Where are the women and children we captured?
In the warehouse. In that cave.
The woman hesitated for a moment. In these times, nothing matters more than a mouthful of food.
But I ain't that patient.
The woman's mind raced. Remembering the traps in the warehouse, she might still have a chance herself.
Don't kill me, and I'll show you the way.
Fine. All right.
The woman led He Juniang toward the back of the cave. They just rounded a bend when a barrage of bamboo arrows shot from the side at He Juniang. He Juniang was ready for it. As it edged closer to piercing him, she evaded it with a swift backflip. The woman stared in wide-eyed shock. Before she could even flee, a bamboo arrow plunged straight into his forehead. He crumpled straight backward, eyes frozen wide in death. He Juniang couldn't help but smirk. Using a pathetic little contraption like this to take me down. Who is that supposed to mock?
The trap was laughably crude, but they sure hit the grain deep.
Enough rations here to last us a good while. And there is a small chest of gold, silver, and jewels besides. A rough count puts it at 300 or 400 taels.
Dear sister-in-law! Sister-in-law! Third sister! Third sister!
Boss Lu's voice echoed from outside, and he'd actually made it inside. That meant he'd dealt with the 2 guards at the door.
Big brother, I'm right here.
Seeing He Juniang standing unscathed right in front of him, he couldn't help but let out a heavy sigh of relief.
Third sister, are you all right?
I'm fine. Big brother, I've found the bandits' storehouse, and it is stocked with all sorts of useful things. Let's rescue everyone first, then go fetch Mom, Dad, and the others. We'll hole up here for the night.
As she spoke, she headed towards the cave.
I've already checked. They're all locked up inside.
Anyone there?
Boss Lu called out tentatively, and a response came almost instantly.
Please help us!
Brother Du, sister, Chi, take a look at my little bamboo. He has been sick for days now. For so many days.
Don't run off. We're here to rescue you all. This lock needs a key. I'll go find it.
Big brother, I can pick this lock.
Though Boss Lu was stunned, he didn't say a word, for ever since third sister had died and come back, she'd become so incredibly capable. He'd gotten used to it by now.
We've already taken care of the bandits, so let's get out of this cave first.
Once outside the cave, Boss Lu headed back to the grove to fetch the Lu family, while Juniang stayed in the camp to watch over them.
Over there is the bandits' kitchen, with steamed buns and rice steaming in the pots, and a vat of water right by the stove. Go grab some food first. We'll talk once your bellies are full.
The moment they heard there was food. Everyone's eyes are glowing green with hunger. Kui'er licked her lips, glancing uneasily at He Juniang.
You go ahead. I'll hold the child for you.
He Juniang carried the child into a thatched hut, taking advantage of the moment when no one entered. She pulled out a fever-reducing injection and administered it to the child. Xiao Shuzi woke up from the pain, his eyes brimming with tears as he came to, only to see it wasn't his own mother. And he was just about to cry. He Juniang quickly put a finger to her lips, shushing him.
Xiao Zhuzi, don't cry. We're safe now.
I want my mother.
Though he didn't cry out loud. His voice trembled with sobs, his little mouth quivering. So heartbreaking to behold.
There. No more crying. Your mother's just gone out to grab some food, and she'll be back before you know it. Be a good boy.
Are you Gore's mother?
He Juniang was truly clever with Xiao Zhuzi.
To keep the child from being scared, He Juniang deliberately smiled. And with that smile, her already lovely features softened into something warm and tender, perhaps from all the time spent caring for Guar. She'd taken on a mother's gentle glow.
Our foster daughter counts as your mother too. How could you treat her like this? Aren't you just driving them to their deaths? My poor girl.
What kind of mother is she to us anyway? Don't inflate her status like that. Exactly.
We're only doing this for her own good. She won't have to live out her days as a living widow.
Nonsense!
Limo lay on the ground, opened her eyes, and stared blankly at the ceiling overhead. Wasn't she beaten to death with a stick? Why is it so noisy? Familiar sounds of quarreling filled her ears. Limo turned her head to look. Her body went rigid. Isn't this the exact scene from the day before the exile? What is happening? But Limo had been reborn, nonetheless. Limo raised her hand. Whether it was a dream or a true rebirth, she had returned to the time before it all began, back to the day before the exile. That day, she had smashed her head against the wall in refusal to marry into the Amping Prince's mansion. What was it she had insisted on back then?
Right. A woman serves no two husbands.
Limo slowly sat up from the ground. reached out to touch her forehead, and her hand came away covered in blood. Since she has been given this second chance, in this life, she'll never repeat those mistakes. And she'll make everyone who bullied and humiliated her pay the price. Her laughter silenced the chaotic hall.
Nanny! You foolish child. How could you try to take your own life? You nearly scared your mother to death. Do you even know, my dear?
This is how her mother and brother ended up exiled, right from the start, scrambling for scraps, pushed forward by the Shen family of the Marquis of Changel to serve as scapegoats. When they were beaten to death before her eyes, she was held back by force. No matter how she screamed and begged for mercy, in the end, I could only watch helplessly as they were beaten to death, only to be reborn once more. In this life, I swear, I'll protect them with everything I've got.
No more playing dead. Hey, I told you he was faking it, but you just wouldn't believe me. I just gave him a good thump. And sure enough, he woke right up.
No need to waste your time here. Li Mo heard the voice and looked over. The reason she'd died in her past life was all thanks to him. It was his club that had sent her tumbling back into rebirth. Li Mo released her mother and slowly rose to her feet. Glancing around the grand hall at these so-called cheap sons and daughters-in-law who were nominally hers.
If that guy had just agreed sooner, we wouldn't have all this hassle.
She stirred up way too much trouble in her past life. This very scene played out before. It all stemmed from a single imperial decree, ordering the Shen family to wed their adopted daughter to Amping, the dynasty's only non-royal king, as wife to his eldest son, Xu Wuyan. Xu Wuyan was cursed with widowerhood, and the 3 girls betrothed to him before had either died or been left crippled. The Shen family had no suitable brides, with their eldest daughter barely 11 years old. Upon someone's sly advice, the Shen family set their sights on her, the so-called old madam, claiming she could tough it out. In truth, this was the emperor's very aim, meant to humiliate King Amping. Li Mo was just 20 years of age. 3 years prior, when the Shen family's old marquis had forcibly wed her into the household to ward off his misfortune. But alas, when the king of hell sets his sights on a soul, no amount of desperate measures could cheat the inevitable grasp of death. Those doomed to die will perish all the same. 10 days after the wedding rites, the old wretch finally croaked, leaving her as the widowed old madam of the Changel Marquis mansion. These people bring up their nominal mother. Listen to me. Li Mo shot a glance at her little brother, pushing his mother aside.
I can marry, but I have conditions. You eat our food, drink our drinks, and use the things from our Marquis's mansion. What right do you have to negotiate with us?
You're just spouting nonsense.
Fine, then I won't marry. Fine, then I won't marry.
State your terms.
First, 10,000 taels of silver.
Pay FFT in your dreams. And 10,000 taels on top of that.
Don't push your luck. Know when to stop.
Second, 50 strokes off the board for him.
Li Mo, who do you think you are? Just a jinx from a petty official's family. And you dare demand I be beaten. But if me, I'll have you killed.
Shut up! Guards, drag him out to the courtyard.
Let me go. How dare you release me? Ah!
Li Mo had anticipated he'd order the beating, for Shen Qingyin was utterly ruthless. And anyone threatening the Shen family's security, he'd strike down without a second thought. While having the wedding gown brought forth, Shen Qingyin also presented the 10,000 taels in banknotes. Who could have brought this? This wedding gown is obviously the one your daughter-in-law wore when you married her off. I'll just buy a new one shortly, since I can afford it now. As for the wedding, it'll be at the end of noon tomorrow. I'll arrive at the gates of Amping Prince's mansion in this wedding gown. And if your family hasn't been raided by then, keep it, don't hold back. Additionally, I demand a divorce decree. With the divorce decree in hand, he'll be severed from the Changel Marquis mansion, so any confiscation and exile won't touch him, nor drag his maternal family down.
You'd better not get greedy.
A flash of murderous intent crossed his eyes. If this divorce actually goes through, the world would mock the Changel Marquis mansion endlessly. I'm not marrying, though your daughter is only 11. Once she is sent over, just let the heir raise him for a few more years before consummating the marriage. And you won't have to spend extra to raise your daughter.
You should call me mother, my dear eldest son. After all, I am the wife your father properly wed through a matchmaker. Addressing me by name is unfilial. Do you want me to have a chat with the censor? Everyone drew in a sharp. Is this still the timid, fearful Lin Mo? Facing the ferocious Shen family members, Lin Mo showed no trace of fear on her face. With a chance to live her life anew, she would no longer live in stifled frustration like her previous life. This life she would live freely and unrestrained. The Shen family of the Marquis of Changel could no longer manipulate her. The censorate has 3 censors in total. It seems Censor Song is the most approachable and the most devoted to filial piety.
Enough. No divorce decree. But I do have a separation agreement.
Hand it over. My hands haven't calloused yet, nor do they bear the scars of frostbite.
Very well. You can go tomorrow.
With the separation papers, I want the people of the Marquis of Changel's mansion dealt with right now. Back then, she married that 70-something-year-old Marquis of Changel solely to save her father. But in the end, her father died even sooner. The Shen family secretly pulled many strings in her father's death. Now, with her morals shed, let's see who can still manipulate her.
This woman can't be kept any longer. She'll become a disaster sooner or later. Guards, seize her for me. Beat her to death on the spot. Threatening the Shen family. You're courting death.
As soon as Shen Qingyun spoke, the Shen family in the Marquis of Changel's mansion cheered in unison. We should have done this long ago.
Seize her right now. Execute her on the spot with the staff.
Li Mo didn't budge. Get on with it. If you don't beat me to death, you're all spineless cowards. Don't make me despise you. Li Mo's unflappable calm only fueled Shen Qingyun's suspicions, making him hesitate. He waved his hand, signaling the servants to hold off for now. He scanned the room, suddenly realizing Lin Mo's mother and little brother had vanished. My dear eldest son, why don't you strike? Drive me to death, beat your stepmother to death. Surely the censor will strip away those 3 words. Changel Marquis, come on, hurry up and do it. Li Mo sauntered over to the head seat and plopped down, then poured herself a cup of tea, taking a satisfied sip. As expected, once morals are out the window, everything just feels so much lighter. Don't keep staring at me like that, or I might get so frightened that I'll smash my head against a wall. Then what happens to your precious Changel Marquis mansion? HMH, all that pent-up rage with nowhere to go. Just watching this is pure bliss.
Remember your promise. Servants, bring paper and brush. You write it.
Shen Qingyun swiftly penned a severance document in 3 copies, plus the 12,344 ancestors. Their names all listed. Thumbprints pressed. Do you take me for a fool? Without names or prints, the authorities won't recognize it. Shen Qingyun swallowed his seething rage. As he watched Lin Mo snatch the severance document and swagger toward the door, Shen Qingyun's face darkened ominously.
Lin Mo, tomorrow at noon, if you don't show up at Prince Emping's residence, don't say I didn't warn you. I'll show no mercy.
Rest assured, remarriage could fetch a high bride price. It is practically a steal. No one would refuse it. Lin Mo shot him a provocative glance over her shoulder and sauntered away with a swagger. Shen Qingfang, the second son of the Shen family, stepped forward.
Big brother, you're just letting her strut all over us like this. Bear with it for now. We'll settle the score with her after tomorrow.
Lin Mo had intended to flee this cannibalistic Changel Marquis mansion right away, but the thought of the few tales of broken silver she'd scrimped together over the years made her turn instead toward the rundown little courtyard where she lived, which she'd just pried out from a crack in the wall. Those few tales of silver she'd stashed away herself. Her head was already spinning, yet suddenly she found herself in a bizarre place. Before she could wrap her head around it, Zhou Yushuan's arrogant and domineering voice echoed in her ears.
Quick, that wretch has gone back to her room. All of you, get in there and give her a brutal lesson.
Zhou Yushuan stood with hands planted on her hips, her face contorted in rage.
You little bastard! You think you can pull the mother-in-law act on me? Who gave you the gall?
The servants kicked open the door, and Zhou Yushen stormed in with fierce momentum.
Where is she? Madam, I don't know.
Xiao Kui's legs went weak, and she dropped straight to her knees.
Madam, I swear I saw the old lady walk in here. I really did.
At that moment, Li Mo was inside the space, having just absorbed all the information. her eyes coldly watching the chaos unfolding outside the space. A wicked smirk tugged at Lin Mo's lips.
Hello, host. This is your storage space. To activate it, just let loose whenever you feel like it. Go mad. The wilder you get, the bigger the space expands, and the more features it unlocks. Plus, host, the more immoral deeds you rack up, the sweeter the rewards. Wishing our esteemed host endless enjoyment.
At the thought of such immorality, Lin Mo chuckled to herself, then used the storage space to catch up with Zhou Yushun, who was already storming out, and stuck out her calf. Watching Zhou Yushun sprawl on the ground in humiliating disarray, Lin Mo exhaled a deeply satisfying breath.
Congratulations, host. You've earned 1 power pill.
Gazing at the pill that had materialized in her palm, Lin Mo grinned wickedly. Power pill, even if the space can't handle the fallout, being immoral still pays off handsomely. Without a second thought, Lin Mo popped the power pill straight into her mouth. So this is what raw power feels like. Feels incredible. As expected, embracing immorality is pure bliss. Taking in Zhou Yushun's foul-mouthed tirade, Lin Mo sneered coldly. Go on, keep cursing. Rant away. The more venom you spit now, once exile kicks in, I'll ensure you're the first to drop. Lin Mo willed the space to whisk her away. Du Yuxuan, you'd better hope I don't get exiled. Otherwise... A glint of killing intent flashed in Lin Mo's eyes. The Changgou Hao Mansion, a century-old noble house. Since it is about to be raided anyway, it is better to line my own pockets than let that petty emperor have it all. Lin Mo first headed to Zhu Yushuan's private treasury. She glanced left and right, and after confirming no one was around, she emerged from the space. No wonder he is so arrogant and overbearing on a daily basis. Quite the hoard of hidden wealth here. I'll collect it all for you. Using the space, Lin Mo scoured every private treasury and storeroom in the entire Changgou Hao mansion, even sparing not the granary. And after stripping everything bare, she finally slipped out the back door, well pleased. Mother! Little brother! Thank goodness she is back. In this life, she vows to alter their tragic fate of dying young and ensure no one ever bullies them again.
Sis!
Lin Shuo, Lin Mo's little brother, spotted her right away, his eyes lighting up in an instant. Sis,
are you all right?
I'm fine. Lin Mo shook her head and reached out to ruffle his hair. Clearly 9 years old. Yet he looks no bigger than a 6-year-old. But what a sharp-witted child he is. He read the urgency in her eyes and tugged mother away just in time. That wound on Shenxi's forehead. They've gone too far.
Not even bothering to tend to such a small injury during class.
It is nothing. Mother, take this. Go buy 3 sturdy padded coats right now. Remember padded coats specifically. Then sew all the leftover money into the linings. And make sure no one finds it. Momo.
Why?
Mother, don't ask so many questions. You'll understand tomorrow. Hurry now. On the 3rd day of the exile, a heavy snow descended from the heavens, and many froze to death along the way. Though she carried the Duan Qingshu document, she wasn't sure if she'd be implicated, so she needed to make several backup plans. Better safe than sorry, right? Oh, right. And the fruit supplies. Lin Mo clutched the silver notes and hurried toward the grain shop. Boss, I'll take every last grain in your store. Have someone cart it all to my home. Lin Mo swept through the shops along the way, buying heaps of every essential item, and her silver flowed out like water in an instant. When she finally paused, the 10,000 taels in her hand had nearly all been spent. Thinking of the Duan Qingshu, Lin Mo headed straight for the Ministry of Revenue. She paid off the clerks at the registry office and finally got what she wanted, stamped with the official seal. At last, she had severed all ties with that vile Changgou Hao mansion. After tucking the Duan Qingshu away with utmost care, she turned and departed. Little did she know every move she made had been watched by Xu Wuyan.
She was the old matriarch of the Changgou Hao mansion,
who had come to investigate a corruption case, but stumbled upon something far more intriguing. Catching sight of the Duan Qingshu at a glance, a flicker of amusement danced in Xu Wuyan's eyes. She glanced at the quivering officials beside her,
and granted her wish. Understood.
By the time Lin Mo emerged from the Ministry of Revenue, dusk had fallen. Unable to resist, she quickened her pace on the way back. And as she passed the apothecary, she came to a halt.
Medicine!
I'd completely forgotten to stock up on medicines. For the exile route, a single bout of wind chill could claim a life. Lin Mo stepped right into the shop. With another grand sweep of his hand, he snapped up every medicinal powder and pill, buying the lot without a second thought. After all, it wasn't money he toiled for himself, so spending it brought no heartache. Having cleared out the first apothecary, he turned to the next, scouring every shop in the capital until none remained untouched. Only then did he depart, utterly content. From there, he made straight for Prince Amping's residence. Li Mo rapped sharply on the gate. I demand an audience with the heir of Prince Amping.
Beat it! You think our young master is someone you can just summon at will? Get moving, or I won't go easy on you.
With that, he slammed the door in his face. Stung by the cold rejection, Li Mo furrowed his brow. He glanced at the sky, wavering over whether to abandon his plan to meet Xu Wuyan. Xu Wuyan in his previous life, he'd never crossed paths with him, though he'd heard tales aplenty about the man. Countless foes had sought his life along the way, only to be turned back by him every time. The household at Prince Amping's manor was small, yet fiercely loyal and united. Should they face exile as well, he hoped to forge an alliance with him. Thus, he wouldn't hesitate to share certain intelligence early. But for now, it seemed he'd have to let it go. And just as regret settled in over his decision to walk away, his eyes caught a carriage already waiting up ahead. A man stood beside her. This man was none other than Prince Amping's heir, Xu Wuyan. In the twilight, Li Mo was struck by his otherworldly beauty. On the road to exile, she had glimpsed Prince Amping's heir from afar. Even caked in filth, his handsome features could not be concealed. Now this noble young master's visage made it impossible to look away. What a beguiling demon. No wonder. Even in exile, plenty of women still threw themselves at him. She was just about to speak when he strode right past her, as if she were invisible. Li Mo was speechless. Big brother, you're really quite cold. Not easy to get along with. Never mind. If I tell him, tomorrow his entire family will be exiled, he'll probably have me executed as well. Forget it. No need to invite trouble. Li Mo turned to leave.
Follow me?
Me? Xu Wuyan frowned. You seemed quite clever back at the Ministry of Revenue, but now you look so foolish.
Who else would it be but you?
So aloof. Li Mo hurried after Xu Wuyan, leading her to the study.
You sought me out for a reason.
Your Highness, how about we make a deal? Xu Wuyan's hand paused as he held the teacup. Then he resumed sipping his tea nonchalantly. Setting down the teacup, he regarded her with a half-smile. A woman from the inner quarters proposing a deal to him. Xu Wuyan found himself intrigued.
Speak.
Your Highness, for this deal, I ask nothing in return from you. Just one condition. Should it come to pass, if my Lin family is implicated, I hope you, Shizi, will allow the three of us from the Lin family to accompany you. Should we escape implication, consider it a benevolent act on your part. The Amping Prince and his household are all good people.
Very well.
Shizi, tomorrow afternoon, your father will be murdered. The Amping Prince's mansion will be utterly destroyed, and its members exiled to a barren wasteland 2,000 li away. Xu Wuyan shot to his feet at once.
Do you grasp the peril in uttering such words?
Do you even know if this death is certain? By tomorrow, Shizi, you will know the truth. I have revealed all. Shizi, remember your promise. I take my leave. With that, she offered a curtsy, then turned and departed.
Xu.
The black-clad Xu Feng materialized silently before him.
Investigate covertly. Find a discreet way to inform my father and mobilize our spies within the palace to probe its hidden currents.
Once Yifeng had withdrawn, Xu Wuyan moved to the window, his tall, upright frame leaning against the sill, his brows furrowed deeply.
What does she truly know?
Li Mo hadn't expected Xu Wuyan to believe her entirely. Yet even a flicker of suspicion would spur additional safeguards, ensuring the Amping Prince's mansion wouldn't face the same ruin as in her past life. Li Mo pushed open the door and saw the courtyard plunged into pitch darkness. About to speak when a sudden jolt seized her as a wooden staff hurtled toward her from the gloom. Instinctively, Li Mo reached out to seize it, her fingers closing around the staff, her arm numbing from the force. In that instant, someone beside her kindled a torch, revealing Shen Si, steward of the Changle Marquise's mansion, gripping the flame.
李默，跟我回去。
Li Mo yanked it forcefully, snatching the staff with ease. Then, backhanded, she swung at the servant who had ambushed her and struck him viciously with the staff. Without even glancing back, Li Mo dragged the wooden staff in her hand and strode toward Shen Si. Where is my mother and my little brother? Nonsense. The madam ordered him to teach you a lesson, and you can't even handle the simple task.
来，
Are they in the Marquise's mansion?
No.
Behave and go back now. Tomorrow, show up on time for the wedding, and they'll be just fine.
Otherwise...
Li Mo swung the staff at his chin. The wood splintered in two instantly.
Strike me!
Get back and tell that fine son of mine, Shen Qingyun, I'll return shortly. But if my mother or little brother suffers the slightest harm or grievance, I'll make the Chengou Marquise's mansion a living hell for every soul within. Seeing the killing intent in Li Mo's eyes, Shen Xi froze in place. She is a downright demon. Until Zhang Sen helped him away, he still hadn't come to his senses. Li Mo slammed the courtyard gate shut, her face stern. Damn it! I was careless. I never thought Shen Qingyun would use my mother and little brother to threaten me. I should have been more vigilant. 3 thick cotton jackets lie quietly on the wooden table. Mother and the others must have been taken away while sewing these jackets. Right, the supplies. She heads toward the family storeroom, twists open the lock. Everything's still there. Li Mo waves her hand, storing all the supplies in her space. She steps out of the storeroom and glances at the bright moon overhead. Since you won't let them have one last peaceful sleep, if I don't make it happen, wouldn't I be wasting all that enthusiasm of yours? After grabbing a sturdy wooden staff, Li Mo marches straight to the Marquis of Chengou's mansion. The night is pitch black. But how could someone who clawed her way out of hell fear the dark? She knocks on the gate. The gatekeeper swings it open and sees it is her.
What are you doing here, you jinx?
Li Mo doesn't even glance his way before swinging the staff. Filthy mouth deserves a beating.
Lin Mo, don't you go too far.
Master, this wench is getting way too bold, pushing her luck. She needs a good thrashing. Yeah, give her a real lesson. Once it hurts enough, she'll fall in line.
Li Mo charges right up to him, the staff in her hand coming down without mercy. As you wish. Once it hurts, she'll obey. The blows rain down on him like a storm, drawing agonized howls from his lips.
Ouch! Ow! Hey! Ouch, Johnny! Oh! Hey! Stop! Ow! Ow! I'm backing off! Master! Oh, wow! Help!
Are you all dead? Hurry and pull her off!
Li Mo immediately holds and steps back, taking in Zhou Yushuan's wretched state, which puts Li Mo in high spirits. Indeed, going mad brings such sweet joy. My dear ex-daughter-in-law, watch your mouth, or else, as your elder, I won't hesitate to teach you how to act like a proper person.
All of you, shut your mouths!
If you stir up trouble again, it is family law time.
I'll make sure my steak serves you well, and your esteemed censor son will love every bit of it. I'm just fulfilling my duties as a mother, properly teaching you all the ways of the world. So don't provoke me. My days have been tough enough, and I won't let yours be any easier. Got it. With that, she dragged the wooden stick inside. The scraping sound of the stick sent shivers of panic through everyone, especially those who had bullied Li Mo before. They were all trembling in fear, terrified she'd come for them next.
Lord Hao, are you really going to let her strut around our manor like this?
Just kill her. If you're willing to marry your daughter off to Prince Amping's mansion, then by all means, take your men and do it. I won't mind.
Zhou Yuxuan froze in. But of course she couldn't. The Prince of Amping's heir was already set to wed her. Not to mention...
She got off easy this time. We'll find a way to deal with that wench later.
When Li Mo returned to her old courtyard, her mother and little brother hadn't gone to bed.
Li Mo, are you all right?
Mother, I'm fine. Did you and the little brother eat dinner?
Sister, we haven't had a chance to eat yet. They dragged us here before we could.
Li Mo shook her head, pulled out some pastries, and handed them over, to tide them over for now. Lin Shuo munched away happily, but Liu Ying could barely force it down.
Are you really going to marry into Prince Amping's mansion? It is no good match, you know. You're from the second branch, after all. If it were just an ordinary family, that'd be one thing. But that is the prince's mansion. And don't worry about the heir's wife. From the Amping prince's household.
Everything's in my hands. It'll be fine. After I've lulled them all to sleep, she finally stepped out of the courtyard, her face icy cold. She'd vowed to indulge their wish to stay wide awake, slipped into her space, cloaked herself in invisibility, and headed out. By the time Limo returned to catch some sleep, the entire Chango Marquis mansion was already in utter pandemonium. Tuning into that lullaby, blaring from outside. As Limo shut her eyes, the corners of her mouth twitched upward. What a racket. And when Limo finally rose that morning, the rundown courtyard was swarmed by crowds packed in layers deep inside and out. Every last one of them sporting bruises and scrapes on their faces.
Put on the bridal gown, and I escort you to the Amping Prince's mansion right away.
Word from the palace. They're to wed immediately.
You have no choice. I've got men everywhere here. You might slip away safely, but are you sure your mother and brother will make it out unharmed?
So I have no choice.
Yes.
After Limo took the bridal gown, she led his mother into the room, while his younger brother stood guard at the door.
Momo, don't worry about us. You go first.
Mother, don't talk nonsense. The man from Chango Marquis's mansion won't let me go that easily. His mother helped him into the bridal gown, never dreaming that in his lifetime he'd wear one again. Once I'm in the Amping Prince's mansion, I'll send for someone to bring you and the others out. Any objections?
Fine.
Cross me, and I'll make your Chango Marquis's mansion a living hell.
You think you'll even survive the day? We'll see.
Still no word from father's side in the Amping Prince's mansion study.
None, and Zhuang seems to have smuggled out a message from Lion Palace. The emperor is truly set against the Amping Prince's mansion, and he has secretly decreed a marriage for the heir apparent. The heir apparent must prepare at once.
Know who it is. True or not, West Wind, take a team and go into hiding now. If that woman's prediction holds, shadow them in secret.
If exile truly comes, the road will be fraught with peril. The emperor won't let him reach the exile unscathed, so he needs other contingencies. Steward Xu Dapeng burst in hurriedly.
Your Highness, an imperial decree has arrived from the palace.
The emperor has truly sent him a bride. Gazing at the wedding sedan waiting nearby, a flash of chill crossed Xu Wuyan's face.
Your Highness, you should proceed with the wedding ceremony promptly. Once the ceremony is done, you'll need to enter the palace to express your gratitude. His Majesty decreed that since the heir brings misfortune to wives, keep everything simple. No need for extravagance or waste.
Xu Wuyan didn't refuse either. He couldn't refuse. If he uttered a single no now, the entire Amping Prince's mansion would be immediately charged with crime. He couldn't bear the consequences. However, when the bride emerged from the sedan, he felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity. Had they met before? The wedding ceremony passed quickly, everyone going through the motions perfunctorily. Lord Chango watched as they completed the ceremony. Nodding in satisfaction, he ordered them to proceed to the palace at once to give thanks, then prepared to depart. Hold on, Lin. Mo lifted her red veil. Lord Chango, no need to rush off so quickly. Li Mo turned to the side, where Xu Wuyan stared at her in stunned disbelief. Your Highness, mind if I borrow your household steward for a moment? Xu Wuyan snapped out of it, nodded, and summoned the steward, Xu Dapeng. Steward Xu, my mother and brother are at the Chango Marquis's residence. Be so kind as to go fetch them, and bring plenty of men. In case they refuse to release them, don't hesitate to use force. Xu Wuyan's eyes darkened ominously. Marrying him off to a widow. The emperor's intentions toward the Amping Prince's mansion are truly insidious. Enough prattle. Get everything arranged for the palace visit. We'll talk later. Since exile is inevitable, it would be a shame not to plunder the palace on the way out for his own sake. Li Mo gritted her teeth in frustration. As soon as he looked up, he saw Xu Wuyan staring at him with piercing eyes. Exile is now inevitable. It is set in stone, so make every preparation ahead of time. Better safe than sorry. It'll ease the hardships on the road. With that, he drew a sheet of paper from his bosom and pressed it into his hand. And follow its instructions to prepare. Xu Wuyan gripped the paper he'd handed him, gave him a long searching look, then turned and walked away. Perhaps what he said is true. Li Mo slipped into an empty room, shed his wedding gown, and when he stepped out again, Xu Wuyan was waiting nearby, ready to escort him into the palace. They didn't get to see the emperor. Instead, they stood outside the grand hall for half an hour, and just then, a young man in splendid robes hurried past them, entering the grand hall. That man's here to inform the emperor of your father's death. Master Shan, next, someone should come out to escort us from the palace. What? You don't believe me? I nailed it, right? Do me a favor in a bit, okay? No sooner had he spoken than, from the grand hall ahead, an elderly eunuch hurried out.
Your Highness, the Emperor says, no need for the Thanksgiving ceremony. Amping Prince's mansion, remember that both thunder and rain are the grace of heaven.
Xu Wuyan's face darkened. I'm afraid the Amping Prince's mansion is truly in trouble.
Mindful of the Emperor's decree, please ask Eunuch Liu to relay my thanks to the Emperor.
Sir, all right. You'd best leave the palace at once.
Eunuch Liu hesitated, glancing at Xu Wuyan, then sighed and turned to go. Get out of the palace fast. You might still have time to prepare.
Eunuch Liu, wait.
Could you tell me where the nearest latrine is?
My stomach's killing me. I can't hold it.
Xu Wuyan beside him frowned. He was fine just a moment ago. Why the sudden stomachache? Eunuch Liu shook his head. Looks like even heaven's not on our side. After pointing him in the direction for the Amping Prince's mansion, he turned and headed back to the hall to report. Without hesitation, Lin Mo hurried off in that direction. Xu Wuyuan had no choice but to follow.
What are you playing at?
Don't you know? Tell him everything he said is true. The sooner you get out of the palace, the better for them. At least, you'll have time to handle other matters. Remember what I told you just now. So, I need you to do me a favor. You stand guard right here. No one comes in until I'm back out. Xu Wuyuan was left speechless. What the hell's going on here? Once Li Mo slipped into the side hall, she instantly vanished into her spatial realm, then darted out of the side hall at top speed. Since we're in the palace now, and exile is looming, he wasn't about to pass up the chance to ransack the palace. The Emperor's private vault, the Queen's private vault, the Imperial Noble Consort's private vault, the Empress Dowager's private vault. He planned to clean out every last one. The Emperor's vault was the closest, so it got his first visit. And wouldn't you know it, the Emperor's vault brimmed with treasures. While he moans every day about the empty national treasury. Turns out he has just funneled all the kingdom's funds into his own secret hoard. Li Mo's eyes gleamed with sarcasm. With a flick of her wrist, she swept it all away. After emptying the Emperor's inner vault, Li Mo beelined for the next target. Racing along non-stop, plundering without pause. Every palace she zipped past got a thorough once-over, saving the Queen's Changchun Palace for last. Li Mo had planned to strip the Queen's 4 vaults bare and bolt right away, but as she prepared to slip away, she spotted a man in guard's uniform sneaking into the Queen's bedchamber under a mammy's cover. She halted, a icy glint flashing in her eyes. This man should recognize him even turned to ash. In her past life, he'd been the one tasked with escorting her and the others to exile. One among the numerous escorts, bound for the place of exile. Along the way, he relentlessly harassed and secretly sabotaged everyone from the Amping Prince's mansion. I never expected her to be one of the Queen's minions. And I stumbled right into it. So naturally, I had to step forward and probe their intentions thoroughly. With brush and ink, I activate the space, silently slipping into the Queen's chambers.
Listen, I arranged for you to become an escort. Today, the Amping Prince's entire family will be exiled. Find a chance along the way to finish them off. Remember, don't leave any traces.
How can the Queen be so ruthless? Uttering the cruelest words in the gentlest tone. That must be describing someone like her. Yes, Qian Zhongchang replied, bowing his head.
Go on then. I'll take good care of your family.
Qian Zhongchang nodded, then turned and left.
Mama Rong, arrange for another reliable person to infiltrate. Have him do nothing but lie low until Qian Zhongchang succeeds. Then have him take out Qian Zhang as well. We mustn't leave a single loose end. Additionally, once Qian Zhongchang leaves the capital, have someone send his entire family on their way.
The mama at her side nodded and turned to leave.
Gu Changling, I wonder if you've forgotten as well, and carried him straight to the back of the spectator stands. Before dismounting from him, after catching my breath for a moment, the numbness had mostly faded, so I could just about make it to the stands on my own though. My leg was injured.
No, someone just sabotaged me on the sly. I'll be fine in a bit. But, Miss Liu, I thought you'd already left. With ladies showing interest in horse racing today, I simply stepped away to touch up my riding makeup. Ladies eager for the race. Indeed. Your sister put this whole event together. And the invitations went out half a month ago. Didn't you receive one? No. So you're not here for the horse race today? I came today to talk business with Xu Lisheng and had him bring you along to the track. That is how we ended up here together.
No wonder the Crown Prince and Yunxi showed up today. He figured the horse race was some impulsive outburst. Turns out it was all planned ages ago.
Well, now that we're here, we can always join in.
Yunwei smiled and let the topic drop.
Mind if I sit next to you? Please, take a seat, patron. Sister, I just heard you bet 5,000 taels on brother-in-law. Got a problem with that. Sister, don't let a fleeting fit of anger lead you to rash decisions. Those 5,000 taels are no small matter. If you can't pay it out, father will have to bail you out again. Please, for father's sake, show a little understanding and withdraw that bet.
Sister, that dress is exquisite tianshui silk, with its fine white weave, those white jade and agate gold drop earrings, the gold lace studded with gems, and that butterfly lover's hairpin, and that fitting piece around your neck, the Jasper Buddha pendant chain. As you just said, father has it so hard already, yet here you are, dressed so extravagantly. Father has always championed frugality. So with you dressing up so lavishly like this, I'm afraid it'll only bring more misunderstandings upon him. Child, sister, in the future, think more of the family, and show some consideration for father.
Yunwei turns the words right back at her, leaving Yongxi utterly speechless. She had come today to catch a glimpse of His Highness the Crown Prince, dressed with deliberate care and adorned in understated yet priceless jewels, only for Yunwei to spot every last one. Yunwei has no intention of belaboring the point, and turns away from Yongxi without another word, her gaze drifting faintly toward the racecourse. Yunxi departs with her little mate, in tow, who, while steadying her, steals a sly glance at Yunwei. Yunwei catches the look and arches an eyebrow in reply. Just then, a gong clanks, drawing all eyes. As riders mount their chosen steeds and take their positions, the contestants' banners fluttering with majestic pride.
Farewells spoken, and farewells upon farewells hereafter. Each step thick with longing, the sorrow of memories that lingers unmelting.
Get moving!
Shi Wuyan's heart sank to the depths, her last shred of hope extinguished. All of the Anping Prince's mansion emerged and knelt to receive the decree. But once the imperial decree was proclaimed, wails of anguish rose without end. Eunuch Liu, the decree reader, shook his head repeatedly.
The emperor has ordered that you set out at once, with no delays permitted, and nothing from the mansion may be taken. Forgive me, your highness.
With that, he waved his hand sharply, signaling the guards behind him to herd the people out. The Anping Prince's mansion fell into utter chaos. But Li Mo offered no resistance. He carefully shielded his mother and brother, positioning them safely aside. He watched as Xu Wuyan led her two sisters toward him, their faces drained of color in terror, yet their expressions unyieldingly resolute, not a tear shed. Li Mo couldn't help but marvel. No wonder the Anping Prince's mansion held out until the bitter end. Just look, their daughters show more fortitude than most men. As for the Chengou Marquise's mansion, a glint of mockery flashed in Lin Mo's eyes. It is probably in pandemonium right now. And if memory serves, Zhou Yushan is in for a brutal thrashing today. In his past life, he'd shielded him from it. But this time around, he wondered idly who might bother to protect him, or how long those wounds would let him endure. How long, indeed. A surge of icy resolve welled in Lin Mo's gaze. The debts his family had piled upon him in that past life, he would settle them all, one by one.
Zhou Yushan, you'd better hold on for me.
At the Chengou Marquise's mansion, rid at last of the irritating Lin Mo, Zhou Yushan thinking 大好, was in buoyant spirits and ordered a lavish midday feast in celebration. In this household, henceforth no elder in rank would loom over him. A triumph worth toasting. Sated and content, he was about to retreat to his chambers for a nap. An imperial decree arrived at the palace, scaring him out of his wits.
Confiscation and exile!
His eyes blazing with fury at Eunuch Mu, who was proclaiming the decree.
Have you made a mistake? What crime has my family committed? Why confiscate our property and exile us all?
Shen Qingyun had long since bowed his head in utter defeat, his entire being drained of all vitality and spirit, aging him decades in an instant. The emperor is truly moving against the noble houses now, and this is only the beginning.
Unless, do you, a mere criminal woman, dare to question the emperor's decree? Gods, seize this criminal woman! Beat her without mercy! Let her feel the full force of thunderous wrath! Even the falling rain is heaven's will!
Zhou Yushan was pinned down by the guards for another brutal caning. Had it not been for Shen Qingyun's desperate pleas, it would have been even worse for him. Even so, his buttocks were left torn and bloodied. As the 100-odd members of the Shen family were herded out of the Chengou Marquisate, they carried scarcely any possessions with them, escorted under guard toward the city gates, many of the Shen women breaking into sobs, while wails of grief echoed from various corners of the capital, all converging toward the city gates. The emperor had struck with ruthless resolve this time, sparing no one implicated,
regardless of the degree, confiscation and exile for all. In an instant, panic gripped the court from top to bottom, each fearing they might be next to face confiscation and exile. And as one imperial decree after another for confiscation and exile was dispatched, the palace itself descended into chaos. First, the stored grains and prepared dishes in the imperial kitchen vanished without a trace. In the palace at that time, the private treasuries of all the nobles were ransacked clean. The emperor flew into a rage, issuing orders to seal the palace gates, determined to catch the thief. At that moment, Lin Mo was shielding his mother and younger brother, trailing behind the household of the Anping Prince's mansion, taking one reluctant step at a time toward the capital's outskirts. Liu Ying was so terrified her face had drained of all color. At this point, half her body leaning against Lin Mo for support, clinging to his arm as he helped her along, shuffling step by step toward exile beyond the capital. She gripped Lin Mo's arm tightly, her eyes brimming with uncertainty and dread for what lay ahead. In stark contrast, Lin Shuo, close on their heels, gazed ahead with steely resolve, betraying not a hint of fear. The instant they passed through the city gates, Liu Ying's tears finally spilled over.
It is all my fault for being so useless. If only I hadn't married into the Anping Prince's mansion back then, we wouldn't be dragged down and exiled like this. Life in the Changle Marquise's mansion may have been bitter, but at least it wouldn't have led to exile.
Mother, do you really think the Marquise's mansion could have escaped if I'd stayed in Changle?
Isn't that so?
Of course, not the Changle. Marquise's mansion was confiscated and exiled too.
The Shen family's hysterical wailing was utterly pathetic, as if a bit of clamor could alter their fate. How naive, Lin Mo thought with a sigh. They'd strived so desperately to upend their circumstances, desperately scheming to evade this calamity. Yet in the end, it was all for naught. Fate couldn't be dodged. Pu Ying followed his gaze back over his shoulder. Upon seeing the Changle Marquis mansion and the Shen family members, he fell silent.
Mother, don't be afraid. As long as our family stays together, we can face anywhere. When I grow up, I'll protect you and sister.
Good to see you, little brother. Her little brother proved utterly reliable in this crisis. Just then, Xu Wuyan halted to wait for them. Xu Wuyan nodded toward Liu Ying. And Liu Ying, his mother-in-law, was both honored and taken aback. She quickly nodded in return. To be honest, the heir apparent of Prince Anping was truly a paragon among men. Were it not for his ill-fated destiny that dooms his wives, such a marriage would never have come to our daughter. Thus, for this son-in-law, there was nothing to fault, save the fear that his curse might claim our girl's life. Li Mo knew he hadn't come for casual family talk, so she had her mother and brother go on ahead, while the two of them lingered behind. She knew Shi Wuyan's reason for seeking her out, plainly put, to confront his suspicions about her. But she had long prepared her words for this.
Your Highness, the reason I know all this is a single dream. Everything that is unfolded today, I've witnessed it all in that dream.
In the dream?
Despite this, Li Mo knew she hadn't fully allayed his doubts, but she had no intention of saying more.
Your Highness, do you remember the request I made to you before?
A flicker of deep contemplation crossed Xu Wuyan's eyes. All these preparations because of one dream, even severing ties with the Changle Marquis mansion. He carried so many enigmas, utterly inscrutable. Yet, for now, he bore no malice toward the Anping Prince's mansion.
That is settled then. Your mother and brother are my family too. Of course, I'll look after them. Don't forget, we're married now. Husband and wife are one.
Xu Wuyan gave him a deep look. Before striding forward, Lin Mo was momentarily stunned. How could he have forgotten that? That evening, they arrived at the Wind and Rain Pavilion outside the capital, where many families were already waiting anxiously, and rushed forward the moment they spotted their exiled loved ones, embracing them tightly. In floods of tears, once past the pavilion, the true exile begins. The farther north they go, the more desolate it becomes. So when a loved one is exiled, families typically gather here at the Wind and Rain Pavilion to wait for the escorts to arrive, at which point the convoy halts for the time it takes to drink 2 cups of tea, allowing the exiles a brief farewell with their families, while the relatives seize the moment to slip them cloth or silver, in hopes of easing their suffering on the road to exile. You see, on the exile route, adults get just 2 cores steamed buns a day, children only 1, and if there is any delay, even that bun might not materialize. Without money to bribe the guards or buy extra food, they might not survive the journey to their destination. Li Mo had no interest in watching others cry their hearts out in agony. Her eyes scanned the sea of crowded heads, Finally, in a corner she spotted that large group of escorts. Qian Zhengcheng was right there among them. Who could the other of the Queen's agents be? Li Mo now eyed everyone with a tinge of regret, regretting not keeping up with Nanny Rong. Otherwise, she would know who the shadow in the dark truly was. She and Xu Wuyan were now in the same boat. This lurker in the shadows, like a venomous snake, watching their every move. She had to stay on guard. Li Mo pushed aside her inner anxieties and glanced around. All familiar faces among the exiles, just like those from her previous life. No, wait. There seemed to be a few more families. In her past life, these families clearly weren't involved. Why had they appeared in this life? It must be because my choices were different this time, sparking these unexpected twists. Before Li Mo could dwell on it, suddenly, a commotion up front caught her eye. Her brother Lin Shuo was shoved to the ground, followed by a shrill, piercing screech.
It is all your sister's fault. Your sister is nothing but a broom star. If not for that broom, star of a sister marrying my cousin, the Enping Princess Mansion wouldn't have met its downfall. And our Han family wouldn't be dragged down with it. It is your fault. Don't you dare badmouth my sister. My sister isn't a broom star. She is, Han Page. You are the broom star. You worthless wretch. How dare you strike me? I'm telling you, if you so much as touch me, I'll have my cousin throw you all out on the spot.
Is that so? Li Mo punched her slowly, her hands itching to unleash. Come to think of it, she hadn't lost it yet today. After all, going mad brings its own bliss.
You jinx! You have no shame! You've brought ruin upon us all! Get out!
In my past life, the entire Enping Princess Mansion became the Han family's outlet for their rage. In this life, she altered her destiny, marrying into the Enping Princess Mansion. So now I'm the one they take it out on. Fine then. She raises her hand and delivers a resounding slap without mercy. The slap leaves Han Linglu utterly dazed, drawing the eyes of everyone nearby. Han Yulong's mother, Madame Han the Elder, sees her daughter struck and immediately abandons her own kin to rush over in a frenzy.
Oh, Linga, what happened to you? Are you some filthy shrew, daring to lay hands on a mere girl? Have you no shame at all?
Li Mo shakes out her stinging right hand. I'll take it all. Just to not my dignity-saving face only brings more grief. Why suffer that?
You vicious shrew!
Madam, I'm sorry. It is my fault for not raising my daughter properly. I'll apologize to you on her behalf. Please don't be angry.
You think a simple apology will suffice? She slapped my daughter right in front of everyone. I'm not an unreasonable woman. But if you apologize sincerely, fine. Then kneel and kowtow to my daughter, and we'll call this matter settled.
Liu Ying's face drained of all color in an instant. Li Mo rolled her eyes, still acting like some high and mighty lady Guan, putting on airs right here.
Madam,
you...
Please don't get upset. Would it be acceptable if I kneel and apologize for her?
Mother, you mustn't apologize.
Exactly. Why on earth should you apologize, Mother? It was clearly his concubine who insulted my sister. Those who show respect to others are respected in return. Those who insult others are insulted in kind.
Ouch! They're from a powerful family, and now we've gone and offended them. What if out on the road they trip us up, me and my two daughters? Mother, let me be the one to kneel and kowtow in admission of fault.
That is right. You dare to strike my daughter. Do you think I won't make you pay? My dear nephew, divorce this wretched jinx of a wife.
Jinx.
I'm not afraid of you or your mother.
Li Mo could hold back no longer, lunging forward in a single bound, deflecting 1,000 pounds with but 4 ounces. He flung Shu Wuyan's maternal aunt over his shoulder. What of it? Provoke him, we'll bring him low all the same. That immoral cur will rage and rant outside. At that moment, the Han clansmen and Xu Wuyan were all roused, hurrying over one after another. What happened?
Ninth brother! You picked a fine one! Your wife didn't just slap me! And he even hurled my mother straight to the ground! Must stand up for us, please!
The Han clan erupted in fury, all glaring daggers. Lin Mo pointed accusingly, charging him with disrespect toward his elders, while Madame Han seized the moment to wail, "Ouch, ouch," feigning a grievous fall. Old Master Han of the Han family, Xu Wuyan's great uncle, the venerable Lord Han,
stepped forward to halt the nonsense.
Fighting among yourselves right from the start. Is this any way to behave? Since you've remarried into the Wuyan household, we are all kin now. And as Wuyan's elders, we are naturally your elders as well. To treat your elders like this, utterly devoid of decorum. Yeah, an unruly daughter-in-law like this, you should discipline her properly, lest you bring shame upon your Amping Prince's mansion.
Grandfather, why don't you tell cousin to divorce her? She's nothing but a jinx. She is the one who has brought us all this misfortune.
She is no jinx. Han Yulong apologizes.
Cousin actually made him apologize. Han Yulong's eyes redden with emotion.
Mother? That fierce woman cousin married is pure evil.
Xu Wuyan, what is with that attitude of yours? Treating your own cousin like this over some outsider?
She is my wife, not a jinx. And certainly no outsider.
Father, say something fair.
Grandfather, my wife wouldn't strike without cause. There must be more to this. One mustn't let bias cloud their judgment.
Lin Mo, at the center of it all, shows a flicker of surprise in her eyes. She never imagined Xu Wuyan would take her side. Teaming up with her was the right choice after all. At least her character rings true. Yet the Han family insists on lording their elder status over her. Lin Mo's lips curl in a mocking sneer.
As if you lot deserve the respect.
Elders command respect by right. Even if elders err gravely, one must never lay a hand on them. That is the way of filial piety.
Elder Wei.
Enough. If you're dead set on shielding her, keep your distance from the Han family henceforth. The Han family has no place for such a granddaughter-in-law. Let's go.
He turns and strides toward the Han family ranks ahead. Han Yulong sees with discontent. But grandfather has decreed it. He dares not challenge it further. Yet before departing, he fixes Lin Mo with a venomous glare. He'll nurse this grudge from that slab. He'll make her pay.
A jinx! You're shielding her like this. Don't come regretting it later.
After Mrs. Han finished speaking, she pulled her daughter along and strode ahead.
Are you all right?
Is it because I offended your mother's relatives?
It doesn't matter if it is worth it or not. Since you and I have already been wed in the ceremony, we are husband and wife. I must naturally protect you.
Son-in-law, I'm sorry. It is all because of my impulsiveness that I've caused you trouble. Sorry about that.
Mother, why does she apologize to everyone at the drop of a hat?
Mother-in-law, you don't need to apologize to me. The madam did nothing wrong.
Her temperament, though I haven't known the madam for long, her nature is such that if no one provokes her, she won't strike back. It was his great aunt and cousin who kept calling her a jinx with every word out of their mouths. Who could possibly endure that? Liu Ying sighed and nodded her head, unable to hold back from scolding her own daughter, urging her to value harmony above all. Lin Mo let the words go in one ear and out the other. You say what you will, and I'll think what I please. Xu Wuyuan's two younger sisters, Xu Xianyu and Xu Mengxian, walked over. One 16 years old, and one 14. At that moment, both regarded Lin Mo with a flicker of hostility in their eyes. Xu Xianyu turned to Xu Wuyan.
Eldest brother is ready to set out. Our maternal grandparents are up ahead. Shall we go join them?
She is your sister-in-law.
Xu Xianyu, as the elder, should greet her first, though she knows how to mask her true feelings.
Sister-in-law! It is as eldest brother says.
You believe every word from outsiders. Yet when your own big brother speaks, you doubt him, don't you? Let me tell you once more. Our family's confiscation and exile had nothing to do with your sister-in-law. On the contrary, it was we who dragged him down, leading to his exile alongside us. Do you understand?
But great aunt, everyone says it is because of her.
Don't believe a word they say. Keep your distance from them from now on.
Lin Mo understood. The Han family sought to sever ties with the Shu family. Yet the Hans hadn't given up, still scheming for their own good fortune. By stepping on the backs of the Shu clan to rise, Xu Xianyu cast a thoughtful glance at her big sister-in-law. She then bowed solemnly to Lin Mo once more.
Sister-in-law, we were rude to you before.
Lin Mo looked at Xu Xianyu, knowing her to be quick-witted. No matter. Just then, the bailiffs cracked their whips, herding them onward. Xu Xianyu spoke up again, suggesting eldest brother join the Han family's group.
No need. We'll travel on our own.
Xu Xianyu stared in astonishment, wanting to ask more, but there was no time left. The guards had already urged them to set off. When the guards at the post station called for a rest, these folks who've never known hardship collapsed to the ground one by one, letting out anguished cries. Xu Wuyan, being a martial artist, finds this leg of the journey no great ordeal, but her two younger sisters can scarcely endure the suffering. Were it not for Shu Yan's support, they'd have fallen far behind the convoy long ago. After helping them settle in for a rest, 徐无燕都开口, her brows knitting in sudden concern. Where is Lin Mo? Why have she and her mother and brother vanished? Meanwhile, Lin Mo leads her mother and brother straight into one of the communal dormitories, choosing the farthest corner inside. She sets down their bundles and begins a simple tidying up.
Silently, we've come in first to clean up. Is this really all right?
Of course, it is. Lin Mo picks up a tattered broom from nearby, swiftly sweeping the dust off it. Soon enough, they'll only regret why they didn't rush in sooner to claim a spot. Mother, remember this. Little brother, from now on, every time we reach a resting spot, first secure a place to rest. We'll worry about the rest later. After trekking 1,000 li, you absolutely must rest well at night. So a good resting spot is crucial, especially in this exile convoy of over 1,000 souls, where spots to rest are scarce like more monks than porridge. Those who can't claim one must sit outside all night, not even able to lie down. After a full day's march, just imagine that agony. Got it. Liu Ying wanted to say more, but seeing her daughter and son like this, all her words melted into a long sigh. It is all fate, after all. At that moment, the inexperienced ones, tipped off by the escort officers, rushed in to claim spots. Someone spotted the clean area Lin Mo and her family had cleared, and couldn't help but marvel that someone had beaten them to it. The Shen family arrived late, and by then, the place was already packed. Shen Qingyun's face darkened. As he scanned the room, he immediately led his group to another communal bunk. But no matter where he went, every spot was already taken. The Han family and Xu Wuyan were among those left without a spot. Though the Han family had claimed some space, it was far too small. For their large numbers, it wasn't enough. Their eyes turned to Lin Mo. After all, she, her mother and brother had secured a large area. Shen Qingyun, with help, supported Zhou Yuxian as they approached Lin Mo.
Since you've cleaned it up, this spot is mine now. You can find somewhere else to crash.
Gazing at Shen Qingyun's smug, entitled face, Lin Mo laughed in fury. You've got some nerve. Who do you think you are? Dream on! Get lost! Shen Qingyun sprawled on the ground after the kick, flushed crimson with rage. Furious, he scrambled back to his feet.
Lin Mo! Don't be so ungrateful! Let me tell you, this is your chance. Just yield this spot, and I'll forgive you. Afterward, the Shen family will even escort you, your mother and your sister to the exile destination. Otherwise, let me tell you, without the Shen family's protection, you won't make it to the exile destination.
I see, so we should thank your whole family for their protection. If we get mixed up with his Shen family, we might not even reach the exile destination. Lin Mo grabs the broom and swings it right away. Get out! Get out! Get out! All of you, scram!
You're ruthless!
Shen Qingyun and the others, yelping in pain from the blows, couldn't help but scramble out in disgrace. As they fled, hurling non-stop curses at Lin Mo. Lin Mo didn't even spare them a glance. Little did they know the Shen family inside was in for a rough night ahead, if his memory served him right. In his past life, a massive downpour hit tonight. Last time, it was his mother and the 2 daughters who got drenched. This time, it is the Shen family's turn to feel the sting of the rain. Lin Mo instructed Lin Shuo to bring in Xu Yan and others, meanwhile bending down to check the Kang's flue below, to see if the Kang was still functional. With winter's chill and the rain, it would get even colder. Without a heated Kang or quilts, such weather could easily lead to illness. Though he had quilts in his space, but pulling them out now wouldn't be wise. Luckily, the Kang was still usable. Li Mo Fenai was quite pleased. As he stood up, he caught his mother gazing at him with teary eyes. Mother, what is wrong?
My dear Mo, how much suffering have you endured these 3 years? In the Chengel Marquise's mansion, you've suffered so much.
Li Mo felt a flush of embarrassment. Had his mother misunderstood something? Never mind. Never mind. No point explaining to her. He knew so many things now. Explaining each one might risk him slipping up and revealing his rebirth secret. Mother, don't worry. I'm okay. Just then, Xu Wuyan led the Xu family members as they crowded in. The 3 heads of the Xu family, plus 2 nursemaids, 1 steward, and 5 guards, making 11 in total. After Li Mo steps forward and obtains Xu Wuyan's permission, he immediately gets to work. 5 guards are tasked with gathering firewood for tonight, food and rush for rain capes. Especially the firewood and rush for rain capes. Li Mo tells them to gather as much as they can. The more the better. Meanwhile, the steward and the mammies will help make shoes. The 2 mammies have no issue with making shoes. After all, they know how. But what about the materials? Mama Qing, in charge of looking after Shu Xianyu, steps forward.
You silly child.
We've already been ransacked and exiled. Shouting like this will only make us a laughingstock. Stop yelling.
Making shoes is simple enough for young women. But even a clever housewife can't cook without rice. With nothing on hand, it is impossible to make anything.
Silence picks up a small bundle from the nearby corner, right after the wind and rain had eased, which he had quietly taken from his storage space when no one was watching. Inside are some leather hides and shoe soles. So follow my instructions. With that, he explains his plan. With rainy, snowy weather ahead, it is all too easy to soak your shoes and trouser legs. Walking in drenched shoes non-stop won't just frostbite your feet. You could catch a deadly wind chill on this exile road. That is why he handpicked these hides and soles. The sole's base layer is wood, raised with 2 cleats, to keep the shoes from getting wet. The hides are waterproof, so using them for the uppers aids an extra layer of defense, and he'll have them make the uppers longer, to wrap up to the calves, so even in pouring rain, your pant legs stay dry from the splashes. Mama Chi and Li Mu are skilled seamstresses, and Li Mu gets it right away, though they wonder about these odd boots. He is their master, so what he says goes. They get right to it, with steward Xu Dapeng assisting. Once the tasks are assigned, the 3 dive into work, spotting the bewildered Xu sisters standing by. Li Mo starts to speak, but in sweeps Madame Han.
All of you, up! We're claiming this spot.
Li Mo laughs in disbelief. One group chased off, now another, acting all gracious, like they're bestowing a favor. Seriously, these shameless creeps, why do they keep piling on? Scram.
Li Mo, I'm your elder. I told you to yield your seat, and that is me doing you a favor. You better not bite the hand that feeds you, or else the label of being disrespectful and unfilial will come crashing down on you. Let's see what the world makes of that. If you manage to please me, then everything can be easily settled.
Liu Ying panicked. Her daughter's reputation was already in tatters, and if another scandalous label were pinned on her, how could she possibly bear it? She was on the verge of blurting something out. Lin Shuo was quick to react, grabbing her arm firmly.
Mother, don't say a word.
But your sister, let her handle this.
You just stay out of it. Mother, your silence will be the greatest help to her.
She witnessed the whole thing today. She could tell her mother was utterly spineless, scared out of her wits, and at the slightest harsh word from anyone, she'd grovel with apologies. Liu Ying fell silent, wondering if her children now despised her. No, what had she done wrong? She simply didn't want Momo's reputation to sink even lower. She was just worried about Momo.
I tell you, if you yield the spot, it'll prove you're truly filial. Such a devoted son, our Han family would naturally embrace. We'll look after you on the road just the same. Otherwise, without our Han family's protection, you might not even make it halfway before dropping dead on the exile path. Clear enough. You can only depend on our Han family.
Liu Mo rolled his eyes. In his previous life, it was his fear of being denounced that made him meekly yield his place to the Shen family. That left his mother and brother drenched in the rain all night outside. It led to his mother and brother falling seriously ill soon after. Now Mrs. Han was trying to use these very words to coerce him into giving up his spot in your dreams, since he has already been reborn. He is long discarded such moral shackles. Without a Han family's care, he couldn't reach the exile grounds. Lin Mo's lips curled in a mocking sneer.
No.
He would surely escort his mother and brother all the way to the exile grounds, and they thrived there besides. As for the Han family, that was far from guaranteed. So without morals to rein him in, he was ready to unleash pure madness. Lin Mo lunged forward in a flash, delivering a flurry of stinging slaps. Sober yet? I haven't slept a wink, and already dreaming. No surprise, your head's clearly muddled. Mrs. Han's face flushed crimson in an instant, glaring at Lin Mo with savage fury.
You actually dare to strike me!
What the hell's with all this, you nonsense? If you can't even speak properly, don't come here making a fool of yourself. You showed your Callie caught. Xu Wuyan's blank stare, as if she hadn't witnessed a thing. This only stoked his rage further. Just you wait! With that, he stormed off in a blaze of fury. Han Yulong, silent until now at the side, turned an angry glare toward Xu Wuyan.
Cousin! You're going too far! Just letting him bully my mother like that! You've changed! You're not my cousin anymore!
With that, Red-eyed, he chased after Madame Han.
Who is the truly unreasonable one here?
Ignoring them, Limo got ready to help with the shoes. No sooner had he sat down than Shu Mengxian shot him an accusing glare.
You're out of line. She is our great aunt. How do you expect my maternal family to see us if you treat her like this?
So what? You want me to yield my spot to them and play along with your idea of filial piety? Xu Mengxian was left speechless by his sharp retort.
What is wrong with that? She's my great aunt. She is an elder. We owe her respect. We're the juniors. What is so bad about giving away a little? You're heartless and unfilial. A vicious, black-hearted wretch.
Another fool barging in.
A chill flickered in Limo's eyes. He pointed toward the door and snorted. No one's stopping you from showing filial piety. You can go find a spot for them to settle down. But this spot is mine to claim, and I cleared it up myself. No reason for you to take it for your so-called filial duties. Since you despise me as this ruthless, heartless villain, then no need for you to stick around and be an eyesore. Go on then. Stay with those righteous and benevolent folks.
You're kicking me out.
Yeah, get moving. What is the hold-up? Want us to escort you?
Fine. I'll leave then. I don't want to be around you anyway.
Shu Menggan stormed off in a huff.
Xiaoxian, don't act like a child. Come back and apologize to your sister-in-law.
This little sister's been spoiled rotten. Can't tell right from wrong at all. She never even considered giving up the spot. What about where they'll sleep tonight? Xu Yuan de 3个月末 shadow crossed his eyes. His maternal grandfather's wishes. Should he tell them or not? Xu Mengxian was so furious, she nearly spat blood. She halted, staring at her eldest brother Shu Yan in utter disbelief.
He is the selfish, black-hearted one here. I just called him out on it. Yet you're telling me to apologize to him. Are you even my big brother anymore? No, you're not my big brother. Not someone who do this. A real big brother wouldn't abandon his own maternal family.
With that, she spun around and marched out. She wanted to join her maternal grandfather and family. She refused to stay with these selfish opportunists.
For now.
Xu Wuyan frowned, tempted to chase after her. But Li Mo held him back. Seeing Xu Wuyan turn to her, Li Mo shook her head. If I were you, I won't interfere anymore. Some things he needs to figure out on his own. On the exile road, a bleeding heart won't last. And human nature is the most fragile when put to the test. If he only loses his head later on, what awaits us will be utter devastation. Better to let him see what human nature truly is right now. The further we go on this exile road, the more we'll witness it firsthand. We're only just beginning now. There are still fewer demons lurking about. A meaningful glint flickered across Ling Mo's face. The Han family are all sanctimonious hypocrites. When their interests aren't threatened, they all put on airs like saints. But if their interests are at stake, their faces turn faster than turning the pages of a book. In my past life, the Han family didn't hold back from sabotaging Xu Wuyan and the others, and Xu Wuyan suffered endlessly because of this foolish sister. This time, waking Xu Mengxian up early like this, I wonder if it will make any difference. When Li Mo 盖下Xu Wuyan时, a fleeting shadow crossed his eyes. Then he dragged over the large bundle from the other side, untying it to reveal the pristine white cotton inside. Xu Yan, lost in thought, suddenly understood upon seeing the cotton. No wonder he didn't need my help along the road. So it was cotton after all. Such a big bundle of cotton really isn't heavy. Earlier on the road, when he heard her say it wasn't heavy, he thought she was just being polite.
Why is he stuffing such a huge bundle of cotton into your padded jackets?
Those thin clothes of his won't stand a chance against the freezing blizzards ahead. That is why he is having everyone take off their jackets. Li Mo wei zhanli for the attention to Xu Yan. As Halai's mother and Xu Xianyu came over to lend a hand, one undid the buttons, one stuffed in the cotton, and one sewed it shut. They worked away with lively enthusiasm, while the rest had long settled down to eat and rest. Watching them fuss about, every face twisted into a mocking sneer.
Teach. What a needless hassle, too many hands stirring up trouble. Ripping open perfectly good padded jackets, just to cram them full of cotton. It is exasperating.
Xiaoxian, you're spot on with that. He is just so foolish. Making a mess with all these extra hands idle fools, inventing problems.
Auntie, you're right. Auntie, could you give me just one more bun? I'm still not full.
One's plenty to fill you up, isn't it? Since you're already full, there is no need to eat more and waste them. Save them for tomorrow instead.
With that, she bundled up the buns and set them aside.
You came to join our Han family without bringing a single coin. Yet you devour so much. Who could possibly afford to keep you?
Xu Mengxian stared in disbelief. How could one bun ever satisfy her? Cousin long scarfed down 3. But seeing that she had already put it away, it felt too awkward to turn to the other aunts, as they all turned away, pretending. not to have noticed. Xu Mengxian suddenly felt a pang of discomfort inside. Meanwhile, the guards Li Mo had sent out returned with a large bundle of dry firewood, 2 freshly roasted wild chickens, and a large bundle of straw for rain capes. After Li Mo set aside enough firewood for them to heat the kang that night, he sent the surplus firewood and the 2 wild chickens over to the officers, all under the watchful eyes of the group of officials. Li Mo explained, "The weather's far too cold. Without heating the kang to sleep on, you'll catch a chill in no time. I checked the sky, and it looks like the weather's about to turn tonight. Just so you gentlemen don't freeze, I had my men gather some extra firewood and brought it over for you. These 2 wild chickens are just roasted. A humble offering to you all. Let's share a drink." After saying this, he helped light the kang for them before taking his leave. But before he could make it back to their resting spot, Xu Mengxian came rushing over, pointing right at his nose and unleashing a torrent of abuse.
Are you out of your mind, woman? I haven't even had a single bite. And you go giving them firewood and pheasants. Which there's hunted. You have no right to do that. Go on, get those things back. Did you hear me?
Idiot. Li Mo shot him a massive eye roll. He had his reasons for doing it. No need to explain to him. Xu Mengxian 气死了 was livid. Not only did he miss out on the game his own guards had caught, but now this woman was calling him an idiot.
You're too much.
You done? If you're done, get lost. Don't stand there blocking the way.
Such mighty heirs, not content with bullying your aunt here. Now you're picking on your sister-in-law too. Out of all the daughters-in-law under heaven, you're one of a kind, using your husband's provisions to curry favor with other men. Have you no shame? Besides, they're nothing but lowly officials. Do they even deserve it?
Currying favor with other men, ruining his reputation. If he doesn't lose his mind over this, he might as well not be a Lin. Li Mo charged straight at her in a fury, with a loud bang landing a punch square on Madame Han's face. Madame Han staggered back 2 steps, letting out a shriek like a pig being slaughtered. The piercing scream drew a crowd as Officer Wei emerged from the nearby room, a scowl on his face.
Hey, all this racket, can't you keep it down? You're looking for a beating.
No, sir, I wouldn't dare. It was this Madame Han here. She took issue with me offering you 2 roast chickens as a token of respect and claimed you didn't deserve such fine fare. You're the one in charge of escorting us, sir. The road ahead will be tough. What is wrong with treating ourselves to something nice? Shouldn't we show some respect to the constable? I can't stand how she still acts like the magistrate's lady, putting on airs like she is above us all. So I lost my temper and slugged her, just to shut her foul mouth.
Li Mo, what are you hollering about?
Did I get anything wrong? Dare you swear you didn't say all that just now?
Yes.
But that is all it takes. Officer Wei, see, he owns up to it. I didn't frame him at all.
Good. Well done. Don't drag me into any more messes. Or if you dare stir up trouble for me, I'll make damn sure I suffer. And so will all of you. One more thing. Don't try pulling that Lady Guan nonsense here. Keep your lowly status in mind. You're nothing but exiles now. So remember your place.
I'm so furious. That damned Li Mo.
Xu Mengxian didn't dare utter another word. She hurriedly followed in Mrs. Han's footsteps and departed. Soon after, from not far away, Mrs. Han's sharp and venomous tirade echoed. But what did any of that have to do with him? Feels so good. Noticing the Xu family eyeing him with suspicion, Li Mo也不是 no explanation. Instead, he casually munched on the bun in his hand, and once finished, got back to work. Shoes and rain capes still needed making. At least 4 rain capes, at minimum. With that, he set to weaving a rain cape, skills he'd picked up in his previous life, where everything had to be done by hand, or else you'd go hungry and cold, never reaching the exile, lands alive. Liu Ying and her son, seeing this, devoured their buns in a few hasty bites. Shuffled over to lend a hand, Xu Wuyan sent Xu Xianyu to join them, and in the end, settled beside Li Mo to help out. Why couldn't he trust that Li Mo wouldn't do this without reason? It'll pour tonight. Xu Wuyan suddenly glanced down at the reeds clutched in his hand. No wonder he is making rain capes. But will 4 be enough? The next day, an imperial decree arrived out of the blue, allowing a few families to buy a cart for the journey, the cart provided by the escorts. Lao Wei drove the cart over himself, and from here on, Lao Wei would be our escort deputy captain. Befriending Lao Wei could only bring benefits, no harm. No wonder nothing she does is ever pointless. He couldn't hold back, his eyes turning to her with probing curiosity.
Was it truly just a dream?
Xu Yan, we're grasshoppers, tied to the same string, so no need to be on guard against her. If she runs into trouble, none of us gets out unscathed.
Got it. Are you still not letting anyone rest? It is so damn noisy. Can you quiet down? If you keep it up. Don't blame me for getting rude. Say it again.
Who exactly do you think you're being rude to?
The crowd quickly fell silent, no one daring to utter another word. Xu Wuyan was never one to be trifled with, and seeing him sit back down, some couldn't help muttering under their breath.
We've been marching half the day, dead on our feet, and they won't even let us rest properly. What is the point of fussing over those useless things?
It is because they're not resting. We need the break even more.
Sai, forget it. Forget it. Xu Wuyan can throw a punch. So don't provoke them. Just mind your own sleep.
I thought you'd warn them. Rain was coming soon.
Would they even believe me if I did? They might even call me a jinx, accusing me of deliberately cursing the heavens for rain.
That is entirely possible. Just hang in there a bit longer. We'll finish soon. And soon the surroundings quieted down too, with snores rising one after another. Only the Shu family still bustling about under the dim lamplight. Working straight into the night, Limo quietly instructed the 5 guards to lay out the woven rain capes on the ground, to sleep beside the stove, while the 2 nannies and Xu Dapeng squeezed in with them. No choice, the 3 of them were getting on in years, and sleeping on the ground would leave them prone to illness. And not long after they settled down to sleep, rain began to fall outside. The sudden downpour jolting awake those dozing in the courtyard, and dousing the campfires one by one. But the Shu family paid it no mind, huddled in the corner, sleeping soundly through it all. As for Lin Mo, half asleep and groggy, her body instinctively shifted toward the warm body beside her. Right now, he had only one thought on his mind. Now that they had a carriage, tomorrow, come what may, he'd get out of bed and put the quilt on the carriage. It was too cold. His approach startled Xu Wuyan awake. Xu Wuyan quietly gazed at the petite woman curled up just in front of him, his eyes filled with curiosity and probing interest.
Limo, what kind of woman are you, exactly? I'm truly curious.
When Limo woke up, he found himself leaning against Xu Wuyan in his sleep, a flicker of unease crossing his face. After rising, he immediately ordered the packing and organizing of their belongings. And at that moment, a woman from the Han family approached, proposing to buy some cotton from them. It is all gone, she left in disappointment, but she didn't make things difficult for Lin Mo.
I want cotton. Bring me every last bit you have.
None left.
He is stone-hearted, utterly without compassion. Can't you bear to see your maternal grandfather freezing?
The cotton's gone. The Han family is large, so if you all huddle together, your grandfather won't freeze. Now's the perfect time to show your filial devotion.
Fine. Very good. Indeed. A united front between husband and wife.
With that, she stormed off in a rage. No, that is wise. You shall.
Why the look? Are you afraid of me?
On the exile road, 3 types die the fastest. Bleeding hearts overflowing with sympathy for their fellow travelers, the blindly loyal and filial, and those who can't bend with the wind. Xu Wuyan rose, in surprise. What kind of talk is that? And just then, Old Wei's voice rang out from outside. Have one person from each family step out. He has an announcement. Seeing Xu Wuyan about to head out, he hurriedly shook his head. Hey, I'll go.
All right. Hey, Momo, how could you act like that? This sort of thing should be handled by the son-in-law. He is the head of the household, after all. Son-in-law, I'm sorry. It is all my fault for spoiling him so much at home.
Mother-in-law, no need to trouble yourself over such trifles. It would have been a better match for the lady to wed someone finer than me.
By His Majesty's boundless grace, among this exile procession are elders and children. So, by special imperial grace, these families are allowed to buy a carriage for travel. 1 carriage costs 200 taels. Prepare your silver notes when your family's name is called. Come out with me to pick a carriage. Anping Prince's mansion. Chang'o Marquis's mansion. Han family. Rong family. Bai family. Qing family. Qi family. A total of 7 families. Send someone out. Why isn't my family on the list?
My family has 2 elders and 7 children. How are we supposed to travel without a carriage?
My family has 3 elders too, and several children as well. We need a carriage too.
I want a carriage. Give me a carriage.
You itching for a taste of the whip, huh? Keep it up, and I'll give you a proper flogging. Looking for trouble, huh? Or do you think I'm too stupid to count? Just a word, and you rush out to play hero. If you want to get thrashed, just say the word. I'll make it happen.
What is a woman like you doing, stirring up trouble? Get lost! The Anping Prince's mansion slots. The Han family claims them.
What nerve you have.
You think you can just claim them because you say so. That is the Emperor's grace bestowed upon Anping Prince's mansion. And it has nothing to do with your Han family. Old Wei, what if someone tries to snatch the carriages?
Tell the Hans to scram. If they rile me up again, I won't hand over a single carriage to the Hans.
How precious a lowly bailiff. Daring to lay a hand on him, Han Yushu could only back away. What a despicable cur. Getting him beaten like that. He'll get what is coming to him soon enough. Li Mo didn't even spare him a glance, and followed Old Wei toward the post station's entrance. Just like in his past life, the carriages varied some fine, some foul. Some had horses so old they could barely pull, or compartments that were battered and torn. Only 2 were in decent condition. The instant they reached the gate, the crowd surged toward the better ones, while Lin Mo lingered steadily behind Old Wei, deferring to him like the boss in charge, because Old Wei wouldn't tolerate any mad dash.
Did I tell you to start picking? All of you, back off now.
Grumbling though they were, they slunk back in line.
You pick first. Once you've chosen, hang your tag on the carriage.
Me? You really mean I get first pick?
Yeah, cut the chatter. Go on.
All right.
Lin Mo ducked his head, slipped 200 taels in silver notes to Old Wei, and he hurriedly went to select a carriage. And right then, the corners of his mouth curled up. Did last night's favor pay off? And tucked among the silver notes he had just slipped over was one worth 50 taels.
Why does he get to pick first? Li Mo, you're not allowed to take a good carriage.
Didn't you hear? Don't pick the best one right now. I'm really selling myself short here.
Why? Just because he is the reliable one. Well, you get stuck picking last.
Shen Qingyun's face paled. After Li Mo had picked his carriage, Lao Wei promptly called the next person forward to choose. Soon, all the carriages were assigned.
I'll trade you for a carriage.
The last remaining carriage he was left with, not only was the horse old, but the compartment was cramped and rickety. It couldn't even seat a handful of people. Keep dreaming in your dreams.
If you really won't hand it over.
Here is a hammer wand that instead...
Just you, wait! Lin Mo, I won't let you get away with this easily.
Damn cheapskate. How dare she treat me like this? Inside the carriage sat 3 from the Lin family. The Xu siblings, 2 mammies, and 1 steward, with 1 guard handling the reins, while the other 4 had to walk alongside, though they could rotate in when weary to take the reins for a spell. Just then, Shu Mengxian braved the downpour, leading several Han family young ladies, striding over with commanding presence, and the moment she opened her mouth, she demanded the Shu guards hand over their bamboo hats and rain capes to the Han folk. And aboard the carriage, Li Mo with her mother and daughter 3, in all plus the 2 mammies and steward. She too demanded they step down. Let him ride with the young ladies from the Han family. Li Mo was so infuriated that he burst out laughing. Seeing Madam Qi, they were really about to disembark from the carriage. Li Mo reached out to block them. Get lost.
You're just an outsider. You have no right to speak. Besides, this is the carriage allocated to my Shu family. It has nothing to do with you.
He'd never admit he is from the Shu family. He is not worthy.
Mengxian, apologize to your sister-in-law before I lose my temper.
Brother! You're siding with her again! Are you still my big brother? Ever since this woman showed up, you haven't stood by my side. You promised, Mother. You'll take good care of me.
Xiaoxian, apologize. Don't anger your big brother. Besides, you can just ride in the carriage. There is really no more room for anyone else.
Sister-in-law is right. To reach the place of exile safely, we'll still need their help.
Sister! How can you side with them too? If you won't let the Han cousins join us, then I won't bother traveling with you either. Cousins, let's go.
Xu Xianyu wanted to call her back, but seeing her stubborn expression, he could only let out a sigh.
Don't worry, she'll regret it soon enough. Sister-in-law, Xiaoxian is still young.
She is 14. That is not so young. Everyone must pay the price for their choices, whether it is her or me. Shu fell silent, but she was his sister after all. How could he not worry?
All right, Xiaoyun, don't mind her. Let her learn a hard lesson first. If your maternal grandfather and the others approach you, be on your guard. Don't take everything they say at face value, whatever they ask of you. Don't agree rashly. Big brother, don't pry into the rest. Just remember what I've told you. The rest is in good hands with Big Brother.
It seems some unknown tensions have arisen between the Han and Xu families. With so many people, it was hard to manage. So before departure, Lao Wei and the others organized them by family units, dividing the massive exile convoy into several smaller groups, with each group overseen by 20 constables. The Han family of Anping Princess Mansion, the Zhao family of Chang the Marquis's Mansion, the Miu family, the Liu family, and 12 other families including the Shu family, all under Lao Wei's charge. Unfortunately, Qian Zhangchang, one of the Empress's men, was assigned to their group as well. All the bailiffs ride on horseback, wearing bamboo hats and straw capes, with Lao Wei and another leading up front, while 3 more keep watch at the rear, to prevent any escapes.
and the rest flanking the convoy on both sides. The Xu family marches at the head of the column.
Eldest aunt, could you spare me a steamed bun? I'm starving.
You think you're the only one who is hungry. Go ask around. Who isn't? But the buns you want are all gone. Useless fool. Send him to demand the carriage back. And now you want food on top of that.
Keep dreaming, eldest aunt. I clearly saw you still have some in your bundle. Steamed buns. Why not give me one? Aren't we family?
Xu Mengxian, get this straight. You're Aunt Xu. I'm a Han. How are we family? If you're hungry, go beg scraps from the Sioux.
For now, we need to keep this fool placated and get him to do our bidding.
Oh, fine. What can I say? My heart's too soft. Here, take this. But listen to me. I'm the only one who'd waste food on you. No one else would bother.
Eldest aunt is the best. Even though she yelled at me, she still shared her food with me.
The Han family's carriage is packed with their legitimate sons, the hope of their lineage, who mustn't come to any harm. Everyone else has to walk. The exile journey stretches on endlessly. If we rely solely on our feet, we'll never reach the end. And it is only the second day he is already utterly spent.
No good. We've got to snag a carriage somehow. Xiaoxian, fancy some meat. Sick of walking.
Yeah, come here.
I've got a plan.
Eldest aunt, I don't dare.
I can't. You want to slog on for months, with no fine feasts or hot brews.
All right, I'll do it.
That is the spirit. Listen to your eldest aunt. I wouldn't steer you wrong. I'll make sure you live the good life.
We'll rest up ahead shortly. Then hit the road again in half an hour. Everyone got that? If anyone misses a departure, they'll all be treated as fugitives.
As he passed the Xu family's carriage, he shot a glance inside. And it is only day 2. Could Qian Zhengchang be striking already? When they halt for rest, Li Mo slips up beside Xu Wuyan Simsa. Stay sharp. Xu Wuyan freezes, about to ask what she means. But Li Mo heads toward the woods ahead. I'll go forage for some steamed buns. She's got plenty in her space, but pulling them out discreetly. Luggage is limited, after all. Constantly conjuring endless buns would surely raise suspicions.
Sis, I'll tag along.
Li Mu shakes his head, gesturing for him to stay with Liu Ying. She'll handle it solo, as if she could fetch from her space with them in tow.
I'll go with you. It is not safe alone.
You can't leave. Stay here and keep an eye on the carriage. Have Xu Ping'an and Xu Ping kneel down. The rest of you, take a break. Worried about my safety. Li Mo's lips curved into a sly smile. She picked up a rain-soaked stick, gripping it tightly with both hands. With a sharp crack, the arm-thick stick snapped clean in two. Xu Wuyan fell silent. He'd clearly married one hell of a wife. Sure, he could break the stick too, but not half as effortlessly.
So, guess this makes me the one living off soft rice now.
Even if the fire's belching thick smoke, at least it'll chase away some of the chill. With no one around to bother her, Li Mo wandered freely through the woods, found a quiet, empty spot, and slipped into her space. Once inside, Li Mo grabbed some food, devouring it in big, greedy bites. After stuffing herself full, she let out a contented burp. The space was brimming with food and drink, but smuggling it out from the others, that was the trick. Li Mo frowned in thought, picking through her options, and settled on a few hefty sweet potatoes. Satisfied no one was watching, she stepped out, dunked the sweet potatoes in a puddle of rainwater, picked them up spot on. Li Mo smirked in approval. They looked like they'd just been unearthed. Back at camp, sweet potato soup, topped with steamed buns. A proper feast. But as she approached the meeting spot, she caught sight of someone skulking about nearby. Her face darkened. Lurking here like this, probably up to no good. What do you want? Got nothing better to do. Why not find somewhere to rest? Why are you lurking here just to pick on me? Didn't I act scary enough already?
I need to talk to you.
There is nothing for us to discuss. Even dumber than a 3-year-old. You think there is anything worth talking about with you?
You're the real idiot. If you've got the guts, come over there and let's talk.
Li Mo stared at herself, a flicker of unease crossing his eyes.
I don't want my big brother to know I'm coming to you. Do you dare come with me? It is all your fault, you vicious woman. You've wrecked my relationship with my brother and sister, and now they won't even acknowledge me. You're nothing but a vicious woman. Are you done ranting about how much you hate me?
Now that you're finished, I'm out of here.
Idiot.
Gazing at Xu Mengxian, covered in mud, he reaches out to pull her up from the ground.
My clothes were already soaked, damp, and freezing, and now you've shoved me down again, smearing my robes with filth. You truly are a vicious shrew!
If you weren't grabbing at me, why would I push you? There are tailors for clothes, so if you have time, why not build a fire to dry off? Instead of coming here to tussle with me, your mind's clearly addled.
Who told you to leave?
He can't help but reach up to wipe his face, only to realize he is smeared mud across it.
Ah! So filthy! I need to wash my face. You're coming with me to get it clean. You'll hear me.
Hurry up.
There is a puddle over there. Head there.
Xu Mengxian points to the side, hurrying over. But after 2 steps, seeing he hasn't followed, she turns and snaps at him.
Hurry up! If you don't come with me, I'll tell my big brother.
You hit me! I pushed back the puddles not far. So he follows her over. He watches as she squats down to wash her face. Li Mo halts in his tracks. Hurry up. We're about to set off.
Don't shove me!
Xu Mengxian's voice carries a hint of tension. Li Mo furrows his brow, sensing something off. He grunts. A sharp pain stabs Li Mo's head, and he collapses unconscious.
Feng, he isn't dead, is he?
No, just knocked out. He'll be out for about an hour before coming to. Time's running short, Miss Zhai. We should head back now. Any longer, and we'll raise suspicions.
Xu Mengxian casts a quick glance at Li Mo, sprawled in the marsh. Hurry, catch up with Han Feng quick. Let's go.
Li Mo, don't hold this against me. If you're gonna blame anyone, blame yourself. It is your own heartlessness that brought this on. If you'd shown a shred of kindness to your maternal grandfather, none of this would have happened.
Meanwhile, over with Xu Wuyan, once Xu Ping'an and Xu Pingguai return with no sign of Lin Mo, her brows knit in an instant.
Out in the woods. You didn't cross paths with the madam.
No, brother-in-law!
I'll go search for my sister!
Lin Shuo, returns. Don't go running off. I'll find your sister. You stay right here.
Just then, Qian Zhengchang bellows.
On your feet, get set. We're hitting the road again.
Xu Wuyan's face clouds over. No time left. She glances at Xu Dapeng, who nods back. He rises and heads to the front.
You all stay put. No wandering off. I'll be back quick as I can.
Meanwhile, Xu Dapeng tracks down Lao Wei and slips him some silver to buy time, claiming the young master's got the runs just a bit longer. Lao Wei hefts the pouch's weight.
Time for a cup of tea. Deal. Anyone's got a shit or piss? Get it done now. No whining once we're marching. None of that got a crap. You hear me? We're off soon. Anyone gripes gets my lash. Move it.
Eyeing the man fanning out every which way, Lao Wei nods to Xu Dapeng. Xu Dapeng gets the signal and turns to slip away.
Why not more? Why? Grease palms like this. We're hauling prisoners for the pay, ain't we? Pushing back a cup of tea's worth. That is extra coin in our pockets. A few more tails for the lads. Worth the delay. As long as it doesn't hold up the journey.
Qian Zhengkang cast a discreet glance toward the Xu family. Upon noticing Xu Wuyan's absence, he felt a twinge of regret. Assuming Xu Wuyan hadn't returned yet, that is why the Shu steward resorted to bribing for time. What a shame he hadn't spotted it right away, squandering the opportunity. The time for a cup of tea slipped by swiftly. By now, neither Xu Wuyan nor Li Mo had returned. Xu Xianyu and Lin Baode and San were frantic with worry, dreading that they would depart before they could make it back, and the pair would be condemned as fugitives. Xu Dapeng's eyes darkened with gloom. He adjusted his sleeve. No good. He needs to stall a bit longer to buy more time for the young master. Just as he prepared to try bribing Old Wei again, Xu Wuyan returned with a grim expression.
Speechless.
I couldn't find him.
Xu Wuyan instructed Xu Dapeng to stall for a little more time. But just then, Mrs. Han approached with a throng of Han family women, blocking Xu Dapeng right in his tracks.
Ah, Xu Wuyan, I've witnessed the malice of that jinx wife of yours. My daughter-in-law still hasn't returned. She must have been jinxed to death by you, or turned into a fugitive slave. Well, good riddance to that unfilial shrew.
Why, son, even taking a dump won't give me a moment's peace. And then what after I'm done? Does that make Liu Ming any less human?
How did you just pop up like that?
Of course, you didn't want me showing up. Being a tad late earns me a black mark. I didn't run off, mind you. Just had some constipation holding things up. so I squatted there a bit longer.
Twisting public duty into private vengeance.
Hey, gotta give you a shot at it first.
What are you staring at? Get up and let's prepare to head out.
I'll remember you. That is for sure.
Momo, are you all right?
I'm fine. Let's board the carriage first. Only now did Limo let the pain show on his face, trembling as he pulled out a bottle of Jinchuang Salve and passed it to Liu Ying. He was just about to ask for help applying it, but hadn't even opened his mouth yet. Xu Wuyan snatched the medicine and yanked her aside, then bent down to apply it to him. It was then the others finally spotted the gash atop Lin Mo's head.
Mama,
I'm fine.
Just bear with it. The wound's pretty deep. It might sting a bit.
I'm okay.
You think you can tough out a head wound like that? What happened?
Yeah. Mo, who could be so ruthless as to hurt you like this? If they'd struck a little harder, you'd be a goner.
Mother, don't cry. I'm alright. Won't kick the bucket and let them prance around scot-free. Didn't you see it coming?
The Hansa were spot on.
And your dear little sister, teaming up with the Han clan, one playing the lure, the other delivering the strike. Their intent should be clear to you by now. I'm one to settle even the smallest grudge. When I exact my revenge, you'd best not stand in my way. As for your precious little sister, rest easy. I won't take her life, but she'll have to swallow some bitter consequences.
Go ahead and strike.
Xu Wuyan wore an icy expression. To her sister, who can't tell right from wrong, she'll never wise up without a taste of hardship. Xu Wuyan gazed at his sleeping face and lowered her eyes.
Poor boy.
What has gotten into Shaosha? How could he side with outsiders against his sister-in-law? Seventh uncle. She can't distinguish good from bad. She truly deserves a beating.
Meanwhile, within the Han family convoy, Madam Han swung a sharp slap across Xi Mengxian's face.
Auntie!
What is wrong with hitting you? You nearly got me killed. Beating you is mercy. If I struck harder, I'd take your worthless life. You utter fool. Can't even manage a simple task. And you dragged me into your mess? You've driven me to fury. And as for Han Feng, you're a blithering idiot too. You knocked him out, cold. Why didn't you finish him off? One more blow and it'd all be over. That would have been ideal.
How can you blame me? I already lured him right to you. And Han Feng did bash him unconscious. He swung too eagerly. How is that on me? And yet you strike me over this. You're crossing the line.
Got a problem. Then get out of the Han family caravan, leeching off our food and shelter. I give you one little job, and you start screeching at me. Who the hell spoiled you, rotten?
Xu Mengxian trembled, with rage all over. All I took was one of his steamed buns, and a single corn bun, and you call that freeloading?
Fine, I'll leave. Humpay!
If you walk out, don't you dare come crawling back, especially after the dirty tricks you pulled on Lin Mo. You think the Xu family would ever let you trail after her again?
It is my brother and my sister.
But with you gone, they've been bought off by Lin Mo. Now no one wants you around.
You'll have no choice but to stick with the Han family.
Listen to me. Behave yourself.
And I might still treat you decently.
Got it?
Keeping this fool by my side will make more people happy.
He slept straight through until nightfall. He only stirred when the convoy halted for the night's rest. This time, no orders were needed. As soon as they stopped, Xu Ping'an and the others rushed ahead to secure the post station for the night. Li Mo climbed down from the carriage and caught his mother and the others watching him with anxious eyes. I'm fine. The sharp sting at the crown of his head reminded Li Mo once more that on the road to exile, one must never show mercy. The price of softness is a cracked skull, a lesson he vowed to etch in his memory. He instructed Xu Ping'an to bed down in the carriage tonight, to guard against anyone tampering with it. Only then did they make their way inside. Xu Ping'an and Xu Pinggui were sharp as ever, claiming a spot in the corner. And once settled, the four of them headed out at once to scrounge for food and gather burnable firewood. Li Mo nodded in approval. But as they departed, he called after them, "If you spot any thatch grass, cut some to bring back. Out here in this god-forsaken stretch, where there is no village ahead or shop behind, you can't buy a thing. And once the thatch is dried, it makes for warm bedding." Li Mo glanced at the firewood they'd brought along, then crouched down to kindle a fire, to chase away the biting chill that filled the room.
You rest.
I'll take care of it. Li Mo paused a moment, then pulled a vial of medicine from his pocket and handed it to Xu Wuyan. When Xu Ping'an and the others return, dispense one pill for each of them to stave off colds.
All right.
I'll step out for a bit.
No, you've got that head wound. You can't go wandering.
I'm all right. I'll just check if there's anything edible out there. Now that the fire's going, whose shoes are soaked? Dry them quick by the flames. And, Mother, if you have some time, there is some fabric in my bundle. Take it out and make thick socks and gloves. With that, Lin Mo headed outside. Xu Wuyan frowned. Why is she always so diligent? Madams from other families wish they never had to lift a finger. But she wants to handle everything herself. At that moment, Xu Dapeng entered. Xu Wuyan told him to tend the fire, then hurried after her. He couldn't leave her out there alone. But by the time he stepped out, she had vanished, her figure nowhere in sight. He was about to keep chasing when someone called out to him. And the one who stopped him was none other than his maternal grandfather, Old Master Han.
Grandfather.
What I mentioned to you before. Have you given it any thought? I know it would be a bitter pill for you to swallow, but these are desperate times, aren't they? If we can just preserve both families now, each can stand on its own. As long as the Han family stays safe, we'll naturally shield you three siblings too. But if both houses fall, it is truly the end for everyone.
Grandfather, do you realize your plan would doom my three siblings and me to utter ruin? Leaving us as good as dead by then. How could you possibly protect the dead?
The moment that so-called confession is penned as he demands, our three siblings are as good as executed, no question about it. And it would drag down everyone even remotely tied to Anping Prince's mansion.
So you're saying you'll refuse? You think I'd want you to throw your life away? Xu Wuyan, you're my own grandson, the only son of my legitimate daughter. Do you really think I'd abandon you?
Even ancestors' hearts are unfathomable, and these fabricated charges come from thin air. I refuse, and even more so, I refuse to let my father die while I still have to bear the infamy and implicate others.
After speaking, he bowed in salute, turned and left, leaving Old Master Han so furious he nearly died of rage, this rebel. This scoundrel shows me no respect at all.
Father.
Han Yushu approached from the side.
As I said, this boy has a rebellious bone in his body by nature. He won't listen to us at all. Father, we have little time left. You must make a decision quickly. They won't wait much longer over there, especially if we keep traveling onward. We'll be ever farther from the capital. It won't be to our advantage.
Who wouldn't want to escape the fate of exile? Once we truly reach the exile lands, we can never return to the capital for the rest of our lives. Most importantly, no one in 3 generations can pursue an official career. No matter how vast a family, once 3 generations pass with no one entering court as an official, it will be utterly lost in the red dust of history.
What are your thoughts?
Han Yushu's heart leaped with joy. Knowing his father was tempted, he leaned in close to his ear. Han Yushu whispered. Lin Mo hadn't meant to eavesdrop. She just stepped out for a quick stroll, making sure no one noticed her, then slipped into her space, originally planning to loot every last bit of silver from the Han household. But unexpectedly, she overheard the Han father and son muttering schemingly nearby. Deputy Director B's words were likely stirring up some wicked plot. Now she finally understood why the Han and Shu families had fallen out in her previous life. They'd used the Shu family as a stepping stone, forcing them to sign a fabricated confession, one that even named their accomplices. How could they stoop so low? The fallout and severed ties were the least of it. With her current fiery temper, she'd have taken matters into her own hands and finished them off. Despicable villains. Still dreaming of heading back to the capital for official posts. A mocking smirk curled at Lin Mo's lips. With a swift, unseen motion, she plucked every silver note hidden on them. Unfolding them in her space, Lin Mo grimaced in disdain. These two together barely had over 500 taels of silver. Pathetic. Spotting the father and son chatting away gleefully, a wicked grin spread across Lin Mo's face. She reached out and shoved Old Master Han squarely in the back. H, Dad. As his father tumbled toward him, Han Yushu jumped in fright. He instinctively shoved back hard. Old Master Han hit the ground with a thud from the push.
Ouch! Ow! Oh no, Dad! I didn't mean to! You die! You drag me down with you!
Glancing at the chaotic Han father and son, Lin Mo wasted no more time. She headed straight for the Han family headquarters, plundering silver and banknotes along the way, and pocketed every last one with a gleeful grin. Spotting Xu Mengxian wiping down the cane all by herself, she felt zero pity and figured she had it coming. After looping through the Han household, she swung by the Shen family next for a quick spin. And only then did she stroll back toward the post station, smirking all the way. Another day packed with spoils. After a bout of mischief, her spirits were soaring, as expected. So from here on out, more naughty deeds are a must. As for anyone who has crossed me, they'll get sorted out, one by delicious one. The thought of Zhou Yushan lifted Li Mo's mood even higher. Based on that scheme from her past life, he'd be slinking over tonight to stir up trouble, but with his injury holding him back, she had no intention of wasting more energy on him, which is why she'd spiced up his wound earlier with a little something extra, ensuring he'd have a restful night. Inside the space, she whipped up a steaming pot of ginseng chicken soup for herself, and once she'd savored every drop, Li Mo emerged from the space utterly content. To keep up appearances, she lugged over an armful of soggy firewood, and from a distance, she caught sight of someone peering around the post house door. Before she could make out who it was, the figure came charging straight at her. Up close, she realized it was Xu Wuyan.
Bitch, what are you doing out here?
Isn't stuffing yourself, crashing out, and chilling just a life. Why go ruining it by stepping out into this biting wind?
Too noisy in there. Needed a breath of fresh air. Let's go back in.
With that, she snatched the firewood from Lin Mo's arms and pivoted toward the post station. Right at the entrance, the all-too-familiar shrieks erupted from inside.
Excellent.
It is kicking in.
Ouch! Oh no! Wait! Ouch! Oh, so itchy! Ouch! It is so itchy! Ouch! This itch is killing me! Oh!
Shen Qingyun senses something's wrong, seeing his buttocks soaked in blood, yet he still tries to scratch. He quickly calls his two sons to pin down his hands and feet.
Thinking! Stop scratching! You'll bleed to death if you keep it up!
Master! Oh, so itchy! And it hurts so much! Let me go! Let me go! I need to scratch! Ouch! Ow! Help! Help!
Shen Qingyun's face darkened grimly. He couldn't fathom how his wife had suddenly turned into this state.
What is so damn good about it? Stuff his mouth shut for me! Then let him sleep it off, or I'll whip the life out of him myself! Hurts and itches, does it? I've seen plenty of cases like this. Just douse him with a bucket of ice water, and he won't feel a thing. If he can't take it, haul him to the mountain hollow, and toss him in. That settles it. Exile. The wretched thing. What is there to fuss about?
Lao Wei grumbled curses as he stomped back to the jailer's quarters.
That is brutal.
No surprise. Jailers are all cut from ruthless cloth. He cast a sympathetic glance toward Zhou Yushan. What a pitiful sight she made. A flicker of malicious glee darted through Li Mo's eyes. Li Mo's face lit up with delight. But when he looked up, Xu Wuyan was eyeing him intently. What? Can't I enjoy the show?
Sure you can. Dinner's ready. Just waiting for you to dig in.
Li Mo grabbed a single steamed bun and left the rest for them to split. If he weren't worried about raising suspicions, he wouldn't even touch the bun.
You're eating so little.
My mouth scorched and sore.
No appetite. Let me apply your medicine first.
Hey, no rush. You eat first. Xu Mengxian stared blankly through the crowd at the cozy Xu family scene, a pang of bitterness and regret flickering in her eyes. What a fool she was. Xu Mengxian glanced over, then bowed her head. One more look at her aunt, and the mockery would start all over again.
No other choice. Why not try Lao Wei's method?
Seeing his two sons nod in agreement, Shen Qingyun had her carried straight to the well side. He turned around and drew up a bucket of water, aiming it straight at Zhou Yushan's wound and flushing it down, followed right away by another.
Madam, feeling any better?
So cold. It is freezing.